Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 967th edition of the Dave's Gone By Show, which starts like this.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. There goes the Daverhood.
And there was much rejoicing.
Didn't your meds kick in yet?
We got David Lefker that's here. He's a Long Island arts guy. He's got his own radio show.
I want you all to really enjoy a wonderful program done by a fine artist.
A glorious thing of unparalleled beauty.
Dave's Gone By. Dave is one of my very favorite broadcasters, so keep on listening to Mr. Dave.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave is me, Dave Lefkowitz, the host and producer of Dave's Gone By since October of 2002, when we first devised this program and went on the air, first on regular terrestrial radio, then into internet radio and college radio, and now for the past few years, live streaming on Facebook Saturday mornings from 9 until noonish or thereabouts. And with our archives, the finished shows, also put on davesgoneby.com, YouTube, Facebook, archive.org, which is, thank goodness, back up and running, as well as the audio archives on castbox.fm. Well, hope everything's going well. Now, I was not, as most normal broadcasters would be, I was not fazed by coughing and almost sputuming during the introduction there. When I'm like, Daverhood, because we have created, I know you've been looking forward to this since last week. We have created a brand new segment. Well, yes, last week. It's not brand new anymore. It's now week-old segment, kind of like week-old bread. And if you've ever had week-old bread, you kind of wish it was stronger. So here's the deal. I've become an older person. I'm 60 years old now. I'm Jewish. So those two things go together to make one less productive creatively.
What are you doing?
But more, you probably want to stay out another 5 minutes because...
oh, no, don't do it. No, please.
I have to.
No. Give me your phone because your audience will freak out.
Well, I'm warning them. I am giving them ample opportunity to clear the decks now for a couple of minutes while I
Please don't.
What? Please, let me do it. So go out, make a tea or something, because it's already done. This is the thing. You heard me cough when I was trying to do the intro.
I'm not looking.
Don't look. You heard me cough when I was doing the intro, but 2 or 3 minutes just before the show started. I kind of woke up a little late this morning. You can tell from my puppy and sort of bleary eyes. I've been kind of rushing around and trying to get everything together to get on the air today. But I'm here. But what happens to an older person, especially male, is in the morning, if you don't talk much, if you're just doing stuff, and you haven't exercised your lungs, your bronchi, your lungs, kind of fill with stuff that needs to come out. So last week, during the show, stuff came out. I kind of went off camera, coughed into a handkerchief, and then Dave, being me, since I've told you about my hernias, I've told you probably occasionally about my childhood cleft palate and palate repair. I've told you about my finger that got tugged and pulled and distended.
Oh,
that was fun. I
tell you, eating gelato.
This is true. This is true. I was home. It was like 9:30 in the morning. And Joyce was away. I was watching TV. I was watching a movie on TV, I think, and on a DVD on TV, and was eating gelato in my pajamas. And the phone rang at like 9:30 in the morning. We were back in Colorado, and we had this loud phone in the kitchen. It's really loud ring so that we could hear it all downstairs. And so I wasn't expecting it. I was into the movie. I was sitting there eating gelato. The phone went ring, and as I do, I'm a panicky kind of guy, an anxious fellow. I, jumped. I wasn't expecting it. It was nighttime, and even though the TV was on, so it wasn't quiet, I wasn't expecting this bling in the middle of what I'm doing, concentrating on. And at that moment, my finger, it was this hand, it was this finger, got caught in the the place between the two buttons of my pajama top. And I was like, wow, bang! And I run, and of course it's a fucking spam call, right? So I actually get and grab the phone, it's like, bam, slam it down. I mean, this is back in the day when we had actual kitchen phones. Everything wasn't on just your cell phone. But then I realized, oh man, my finger, this finger here, was suddenly like hanging out. It wasn't pulling back up with the rest of them. And I couldn't really deal with, certainly this part between this knuckle and the tip wasn't coming in, wasn't retracting, wasn't doing it. I put a homemade splint on it and then tried to see how it would be the next morning, and it wasn't good the next morning. It was still sort of hanging there. Do you remember what that was called? It wasn't distinction.
It was like trigger finger.
Was it really?
Trigger finger, yeah.
Something like, I think it really a trigger finger. And I had to go to like a fingerologist to figure out what it was. She splinted it. She gave me exercises. She gave me like literally Play-Doh, where you put your fingers.
Go for physical therapy for your gelato finger.
Yeah, I like that gelato finger. And you had to take your fingers and scrape them along this gelato to build strength.
The same color shirt that your guest wore last week. It looks the same.
Oh my God! Well, that's it. But I'm not wearing blue. My shirt looks blue right now. This is purple. No, that's last week.
Oh.
So I'm scraping my fingers along the clay to basically, because you're supposed to dig your finger in and pull on a finger that hasn't been able. And she said, your finger will never, ever, ever be exactly normal again. So if you notice, it kind of, it took many years, but it kind of is. It kind of got all better. But if I tell you it took more than a year for the finger to really like work again, just like exactly like all the other fingers, it didn't keep me from, well, it's my left hand, so it didn't keep me from writing or doing anything. But for many months, I was very, very hyper-conscious of my hyperextended finger. I think that was what it was called, a hyperextended finger. And so I'm sure I must have shared about this at the time it happened, because we were already doing the program. We were living in Colorado. So you know about my foibles. You know I had COVID and how I dealt with that. You know, every time I have a cold, you hear it in my throat. So, and I've had, since COVID, my wife thinks I have some aspect of long COVID, which is very possible, because I do have sometimes breath issues and phlegm issues that I never had up until, pretty recently. But then again, the big joke of old Jewish men is they sit, and getting older Jewish women is that they've got, so, I mean, the men in the schwitz bath, right? These old 70-something-year-old sakrocha, they're sitting there. The first thing is, and they're all hawking up phlegm. This is what you do in the morning. You try and pish, and you have trouble doing it, and then you hawk up some phlegm, and this begins your morning. So, this begins my morning. Last week, during the show, I had to stop for a half a second, or 10 seconds, get my handkerchief out, and cough up real actual phlegm. And I thought, I could just do this and make a joke about it. And then I thought, no, Dave, you're Dave. And therefore, you're going to celebrate this and foist it upon your helpless audience. So, when I coughed up phlegm last time, I thought, well, what can I do with this? I'm not going to smear it across the lens, and I'm not going to, there's not really that much you can do with it. It's not like I hawked up a bowl full that I could then put on like shredded wheat. No, wasn't going to do something that disgusting. And in deference to taste and to my wife's taste, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to show it on camera. But I do need to, I did not show it on camera, but I did look at my handkerchief and saw that it was pretty good. It was dark greenish and had little, but it was small. It was like teardrop shaped. And I thought, well, why not? If gypsies can read tea leaves and phony psychics can read crystal balls and stuff like that, or crystal vaginas if they're lesbians, then why can't I read the phlegm leaves? Why can't I look at a jot of my phlegm? And I think there's more coming. And tell you, aha, this is the future that I see. This is what's coming up. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was hoping, actually, this week, I'm usually hoping I get all the phlegm out before the show starts. But it's tough. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting up, pretty late on Saturday mornings now. I'm like, not going to happen. What do I do? So, in this particular case, I was going to, it'll come out just when the show's starting. I'll hock up some phlegm. I'll share it with all of you. And it'll be exciting. 2 minutes before the show started this morning, Saturday, November 16th, 2024, I couldn't help myself. I gave a cough and a little bit of phlegm came up. You can hear some more. More! Oh my!
I'll vomit.
So, I'm going to read now. Now I have 2 different readings to do.
Morgan Jeunesse.
Oh, Morgan Jeunesse? She was, I think, the reader of, like, the person who kind of vetted plays coming through to the public theater. A woman named Morgan Jeunesse died this past week. She was a theater person. A lot of people are obviously upset and heartbroken over that because she did a lot for off-Broadway theater and developing plays and developing playwrights. She never accepted any plays that I sent in, so, kind of dry tear ducts for old Dave. But for a lot of playwrights, for a lot of people, and for New York, it's kind of a loss. Anywho, so I have now lost 2 bits of phlegm from my body. Don't look. So I'm going to show the first one. Here it is. It's really kind of cute. I'm going to have to read this and predict the week. I'm going to need my glasses for this. Close your eyes if you really do find this. It really is kind of gross. So this was before the show. Look at that. It's like a mama and baby teardrop, like 2 little ghosts.
Are you showing it?
Struggling. Yes, I am.
Okay, don't do that.
So, doctors in the first of all, it's very light colored. Okay, it wasn't dark green like last time. And by the way, let me tell you what a doctor told me when I had an on-camera, Zoom doctor visit 3-something years ago, post COVID.
Tonight that Tyson fight with the.
That was last night. The Tyson Jake Paul fight was last night.
The Tyson win or the kid?
Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to? Yeah, the kid won.
That's what it seems like on the
Yeah. So, I'm coughing. Where was I going with this? So, the doctor told me, and you may not know this, because I grew up thinking, well, if it's dark green, it's deeper in the bronchi, and you're more likely getting over an infection, something real sick. If it's yellow or almost clear, it's much, much higher in the lungs. And, don't know if you heard that. It's much, much higher in the lungs. Nothing to worry about. It's a cough. It's a little bit of sputum that's in your throat and just coming out of the way, way upper lungs. But dark green you worry about. Yellow, light yellow, you just get rid of it and you're fine. The truth of it is, according to this MD, is that it's got nothing to do with nothing. The color is the color. It happens to, so if one is deeper or higher than the other, it doesn't mean one is pneumonia and the other is not. It's just some is this color, some is that color.
That's what he said to you?
Yeah, it's honestly what he said to me. When I had that, I think you were there, when I went on with the, I think it was not Care First, what do they call themselves? It was kind of like this post-COVID thing where half the doctor visits of everybody was not physically going to the doctor. They gave me an inhaler and stuff like that. But it was such a wonderful thing to hear. That for decades, people have grown up like, oh no, the phlegm is green, you must be infectious, which a child loves to hear because it means they're probably not going to have to go to school for the next 3 days. And an adult is like worried about, but no. If there's red in your sputum, if there's red in your catarrh, then you should probably put down the catarrh and pick up the piano. But if there's blood in there, you should be worried about it. If there's not, it's just same stuff, same goo. So as you see, I made a very tiny bit of goo this morning just before the show started. And because it's tiny, because it's small, I will say my prediction is, at least for this week, don't sweat the small stuff. It may feel like, oh my God, I'm being productive. Stuff is coming out of me. I can't help it. I'm overwhelmed. I can't deal. Yes, my friends, I feel like Tyler Henry, right? you can deal. It's small phlegm. It's small fry. It is something that you can deal with. It seems monumental. If you hold it up close to your face, it's going to be like, oh my God. But you pull it away, it's just tiny little drops. And you can handle, you know how you handle tiny little drops in an umbrella? So now my other phlegm, the phlegm that I can't put it from doing. My other phlegm, the phlegm that I just coughed up, and I won't show it on camera because I accidentally folded my handkerchief and kind of spread it all out. So this one is more, same deal though. This one is now kind of flat. Flat, also colorless, rather almost more beige than yellow and clear. A little bit, somewhat lumpy. Well, this means that yes, your week might get tiny little lumps in it. Your week might be slightly difficult here and there, but really you're going to smooth it out. Just the way folding my handkerchief down smoothed out my phlegm chunks. This is how your week is going to. Can you believe this show is 967 episodes old?
I think you're dwindling down to the end.
I'm really going down the drain with this. However, I finally came up with a title for the segment. What do you think of this? My Old Phlegm. Huh? My old phlegm.
I'm getting more nauseous every time you talk about it. I do feel.
Well, that's the end of the segment. I need a.
You should really give like a phlegm warning. Where's your dirty and clean song? You should have had the dirty.
Yes. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Of course, don't worry about it. The segment's over. But that is the semi-brand new My Old Phlegm segment, and we'll see. However many times that I become productive just before camera or even on camera. We have contests. We can see, like, if I stand back by the wall, how far the sputum will travel each week when I'm coughing. And the one thing is, you're not allowed to force it. You've got to just be like, oh no, I got a cough coming. And you film it and you throw something in there. Something's got to come up. Now, I also want to dispel the notion that you might have that my darling and adorable wife over there is a terrible prude and that she's disgusting about things, nauseous. Understand this. Last week we were at a novelty, or I was at a novelty place while she was over at Ann Taylor. I'm poking through things, and I'm like, okay, another drum set, a fake children's drum set, there's a harmonica there that's made of crap. They had some bells like this that I bought. These are really good. For like $5 and under. That's literally the name of the store. $5 and under, except most things there are now over $5 because of inflation. Fine. But I find this on the rack. A pile of poop.
It. Of course you found it.
Of course I found a pile.
The day you show everything disgusting?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the deal. I showed my darling and adorable wife this. Once I buy it. Because they also had another novelty poo, but it looked more orange. It didn't look real. This looks like the real thing. This is like something a dog or even a human would leave. I get this. I show it to my wife last weekend.
Yes.
And she says, how many did you got? I said one. You just got one? Quoth the missus.
I know you're going to lose it and it's going to get sticky. It looks like it's slimy.
It's supposed to look like it.
No, but it's going to get like lint and then you're going to cry.
I will.
You're going to cry and then you're going to need another.
Well, we can go back and I can get another because it was only $2.50 for this.
Are you going to open it?
I don't know.
Wait till you
if I get a second one, I'll open it because look at the back. I don't want to ruin this.
That's classy.
Yeah. So this is the world. So if I'm on camera talking about and even showing my phlegm, understand that we live in a world where children and teenagers and their parents shop, and that this is a desired novelty item for people to put around the house, perhaps on top of a bowl of oatmeal, perhaps on just the rim of the front of a toilet seat. You never know all the fun that you can have with this. Yeah. This would be kind of cool if there's a really bad production of The Nutcracker.
Your interview with your cousin David got 1,400 plays.
Good
Your
Lord.
Mary posted it. People are watching it, yeah.
Good Lord.
I can't see it.
Is that really true? 1 point. Sorry, yeah, no.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like you.
No, seriously. Almost 1,500 plays.
I break my little box.
For there was an interview that I did with my what happened?
My box is broken.
What box is
Did it
that?
fall?
No.
It's broken.
Do we not notice the chip in there?
No, it wasn't broken before.
Well, nothing happened here.
Look at that. Look.
I'm going to show it to the other side. This is, we bought a little plastic box for novelty things.
Yeah. That's a sharp edge, you know?
Whoa, yeah, look at it got cracked on the side. Look at that.
Yeah, maybe that cold weather?
I don't know. Anyway,
I'm not going to use it, David.
all right, so no. So I can use that for other
You
things.
should use it for storing your toys and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Use that for my
Yeah.
toys.
I
So
can put the chickens in it.
yes. So throw me one chicken so I can share with the crowd. Thank you very much. So this will be a box that my wife was going to use for some of her little miniature toy things. Is now going to be a chicken box.
No, but other things can go in there too.
Oh, absolutely. There. So. Apropos of nothing. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that can go in this box, and it'll separate my stuff and make it a lot easier to find.
Whatever you want, yeah.
Yeah. No, but what you were talking about here is about 3 weeks ago now, my beloved cousin David Levine passed away, and it just so happened that
You did a really great chat with him.
Yeah. Earlier that year, on my 60th birthday episode.
What made you want to talk with him? Just because he was your cousin and friend?
Well, yeah, he had been on the show
Oh.
in 2003. I think it was 2003, because we had both been in Prague. He was living in Prague,
Oh, yeah.
and he talked about that and Prague and Czechoslovakia. And then I hadn't had him on the show for a very long time, and I never had him video on the program. I was like, let me get my cousin David on. So, again, and it made sense. I wanted to, and he was available. So he came on for about 15 minutes on my birthday show. Just a yak, what have you been doing in the 20 years since you were on the program last time? And it was nothing more than, I want a relative on my birthday show. And then, wouldn't you know, horribly, that 8 months later, he was gone. Like he literally passed away, he had heart trouble apparently, and whatever. And so I reposted on Facebook this interview that we had done. And apparently it's been going, but he must have so many friends and family.
Yeah.
If 1,400 people are watching this, I'm like, if I die, 3 people are going to watch my show and 2 are going to give me thumbs down. It's like all the people I've made mad, all the people I've said bad things to, all the people who I never said anything bad to but hate me anyway. It's going to be like, they're just going to make hate videos on Instagram of me. This guy, great guy, made a lot of friends. 1,400 people have been watching my interview. I mean, I've had celebrities die. I always post when well-known people, or any friend of the Daverhood, anybody who has been on this program and passes away, I try and repost their interview on Facebook and highlight it and say, so-and-so passed away, we're very sad, and if you want to see them when they were on this program or hear them, here they are, just click. And, it's kind of a way of, on one level, it's like, sorry, they're passed away, and here's a memory, and we're very, very proud that we were able to have them on the show, so that piece of history, that legacy, is a part of us, and we're a part of them. But it's also a pat on the back, and say, hey, guess what celebrity we had on the show? Oh, and now they're dead, and we're part of that. We're part of the news cycle. But obviously, you don't want to do that with a relative, except now I got to get all my relatives on the show so I get some ratings. Just everybody who's over 50, please, all my family, my second cousins, contact me. Let me get you on the show. Just in case. We'll have it in the vault. If the show goes on a few more years, it's probable we're going to lose some people. Let me get you on the show for 10, 15 minutes, and then boom! Well, we can try and get like 3,000 people watching in a given moment. And but the caveat is they have to sit through segments like my old Phlegm. Anywho, what are we going to do on this episode of the Dave's Gone By show? It's episode number 967, airing on Saturday, November 16th, 2024. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. That's my wonderful and amazing wife. This is Potato. Potato is kind of a silent partner in the show. He's a producer more than anything else. Not so much a performer anymore. He produces, produces tubers, and that makes more potatoes. So the cool thing is that we're calling this episode, and I love this title. Well, I'll tell you the guest, and then I'll tell you the title. Our guest is Leah Forster. Leah Forster, Forster. She is a comedian. Okay, wow, big deal. So we've had comedians on the show. But we've got some pretty famous comedians on the show. Robert Klein, the late Marty Allen has been on this program. Renee Taylor has been a guest on Dave's Gone By. Some really cool people. Well, we have another really cool person. Leah Forster does stand-up comedy. Here's the deal, though. Leah Forster has been doing comedy for a lot of years now. But for the main part of her career as a stand-up comedian, she was telling jokes specifically geared for, and directly to a strictly Orthodox Jewish audience, which meant at that point that she was only performing in front of women, because men would not be in the audience, men would not hire her. But she had a very lucrative and great career going around the country and talking and tummeling and telling jokes and doing characters in front of what she was, a strict, frummy, Orthodox Jewish crowd, right? And this was her life. I mean, this was not just fasting on Yom Kippur and doing the Shabbos even, but really serious, like in an arranged marriage kind of serious Hasidic lifestyle. That's what she was.
Where was she living in
Borough Park.
Oh, yeah.
She was in Borough Park. And this is a very strict Hasidic
But
enclave.
she was a comedian when she was Hasidic?
Yes. You wouldn't think they would have them, but they do. And she was a comedian for women. Because they have Milk and Elon Gold and folks like that.
No, you have to be separate, yeah.
Yeah. So, and she was doing fine. Except she started realizing there's more to life than this. There's more. As much as she believed, as much as she loved the community, and the community loved her, at least at that time, she was like, no, I'm not who I'm thinking and saying I am. So she started surreptitiously, of course, trying to discover more about the world, more about comedy, more about the fact that even though she was in an arranged marriage, she thinks she liked the ladies more than the men's. And ultimately, after, obviously months of terrible soul searching, she decided, you know what, this is not who I am, this is not my life. I'm a lesbian. And I'm caught in a religion and a community that does not accept lesbianism, won't accept me for, and I'm in a marriage, and I have a kid with my husband, but I can't do this anymore. And so she decided, as politely and gently as she could, to break with all of that. And immediately she became, for the most part, a pariah.
Does she have her child with her? Did she have
she shares custody with her ex-husband. I mean, she'll talk about all this. And the minute she came out, she started wearing the clothes she wanted to wear, shaving her hair, coloring her hair the way she wanted to, not covering her head, not wearing wigs and shit. But, and dating women. And now she has been married for a while to a woman and is happily out. And yet, of course, there is all the trauma that she went through when the community completely rejected her, and stories of kind of breaking away from everything. And then, even though she wasn't obviously going to be a chassid anymore, saying she couldn't really be without religion. Oh, here she is. Here she is as one of her characters. Leah Forster. So that's her. She's going to be on the show in a little while. Very funny lady. But the thing is, she is back to being not a chassid. But she is still an Orthodox Jew. Modern Orthodox, I guess you could call it. She still celebrates the holidays. The Rabbi Sal had to tape her segment, her interview segment that you're going to watch on the program today, yesterday afternoon. Because once the sun comes down, she goes to shul, she celebrates everything, she does Shabbos, and she follows everything. It's just she's not in a sect anymore. Now she is just a quote-unquote God-fearing Jewish Zionist kind of person. So yay. and we have her on the program, Leah Forster. She will, of course, be talking to Rabbi Saul Solomon, who cuts through all different sects of religion. I think Rabbi Saul once said, hey, if it has to do with sex, I'm all for it. So Rabbi Saul,
know each other?
do they do now. Oh, they do now. So they had a discussion yesterday afternoon on camera, and you'll see. Now, Rabbi Saul is, of course, the spiritual leader, the founder of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. So it is a real eye-opener and ear-opener for him to meet someone from a community that, on some level, is even more observant than he is. And he's, understand that Rabbi Saul Solomon is tremendously observant. You put him in a room, he observes everything. But, not getting any comedy love, huh?
Watching the Rug.
Oh. So, Leah Forster going to be the guest on Dave's Gone By, which is why we're calling this episode Forced Entry. Get it? F-O-R-S-T. Forced Entry. I get so proud of myself over these titles. So Leah Forster and Rabbi Saul are going to be on the program. Thank you very much. We'll have, I've done the Phlegm watch, or my old Phlegm. Maybe if you're good, we'll have Bunion watch today. Yes, we're going to have Bunion. We're going to do Bunion. We're going to do Bunion watch right now. Hold on. I want to do this because there's a piece of skin on my
David,
foot.
No, please, no.
What's Bunion watch? You're used to Bunion watch. Here it is. Okay. So, you know what? I'll play the Bunion. Here's our Bunion watch theme music. Yes, you chose to watch this program, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody forced you. Here's Bunion watch.
She's Bunion, she really is a fun one, she's Bunion. Listen, doctor, to my plea, it's time for bunionectomy. Bunion, there are pain in our feet. These feet of mine have got to go, please get these bunions off my toes.
Bunion watch, ladies and gentlemen, on the only. There are other segments that people can steal, like we did a quiz. There are segments like StoryTime that other people do or did even before us. Nobody anywhere is doing Bunion watch. Certainly not the way Dave's Gone By does Bunion watch.
You never know, David. I'm concerned that some bunionectomy doctor will take it up and do it.
You think?
I believe somebody.
Well, bunion surgery is different.
Why do you have saucy nugs up there?
Why have what?
And what the heck is that thing with the? Is that ice cream on the other side?
No, it's like one of these salads that you eat. It's like a scoop of, I don't know what that is. With red pepper.
Ice cream?
And basil leaves.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Or is that, might be watermelon. It might be a summer watermelon salad. I can't tell what, you can't even see it because I lowered the camera now. But
oh, well.
We're going to use speaking of ice cream, we're going to use the ice cream scoop on this toy truck as the measuring point of my bunions. So first of all, let me show you my right foot bunion. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So, yep, perfectly normal today. For a very large bunion. It's certainly smaller than the entire ice cream scoop right there.
Comparing it to the.
Yes.
Once you compare it to your new poo.
I haven't taken new poo out of the wrapper. In terms of old poo, obviously pooey.
Chicken.
All right, hold on.
It's probably got the same consistency of the chicken's butt.
Here we go. So here's chicken. If we compare the chicken to the size of my bunion, it basically not even the whole tail. It's rather pathetic. But for a bunion size, it's pretty good. And here's the deal. Earlier in the week, this was right on my toe was really rough right here, and it was even sticking out like a piece of exposed skin flesh was sticking out and rubbing against my shoe, which it didn't hurt. It wasn't like pulling the skin off, but it was kind of annoying. And so it's even if I can't really show it, but if you can,
you can't see. You have to. You see mostly
my finger. Yeah,
it's not high, and then the foot.
Yeah, I don't know what I can do. I can put it on.
Ben, move your camera. Put the camera.
Yeah, you're right. I can do that. Hold on. Here we go. So, this part right here.
It's still.
Is kind of rough and white, as opposed to gentle.
Like, oh my God, David.
What dear? Yeah. Wow. Look at the bone of my leg. I'm looking at. Look at, and also the whiteness of
Yes.
between my sock.
Yes.
Wow. That'll get darker because I've
It
been
looks like
wearing
you-
tight
why
socks.
It looks like you have no hair there. Like, what
I
happened?
don't. Well, if you wear socks all day, day in, day out, you're not going to grow hair. Yeah, same thing on this foot. Well, this foot
That's
just looks white.
crazy.
Yeah. And here, this is my left foot bunion. Quite
Looks like
beautiful.
a hand.
So, apart from, I would have to say today in terms of our bunion conditioning, size has not changed, color has not changed, shape has not changed. However, near the bunion, there is some level of dryness and irritation. So it will require perhaps a Vaseline or Phlegm application, just not on the bunion, but to the right of my right foot bunion, just to fix that up. So that is today's Bunion Watch, ladies and gentlemen, on Dave's Gone By. I hope you appreciated that. I hope you're not having breakfast while watching this program. By the way, speaking of not having breakfast, don't forget that we also have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. This is a poem that I share every week, a different poem about all these different places in Colorado. Towns, cities, little tiny ghost towns and burgs and hamlets and metropolitan areas and designated census population areas and things like that. Wherever I can figure out a way to make a disgusting 5-line poem about a place in Colorado, I do. And that's the purpose of Dave's Gone By. So we have, honest to God, more than 300 of these Colorado limericks, and we share a different one every week. I'm still trying to write new ones, and by gosh, I have. Today we go to Basin, Colorado, like Basin Street in New Orleans, or Basin like you wash something in a tub. Basin, Colorado, because I'm basing the show on that limerick. Oh! I say it. Oh! Yeah, well, anyway, so we have our Colorado limerick of the day. Now, hon, I'm going to give you the option on this one. Should I do Dave's Big Dictionary, or should I do StoryTime? What's wrong with my phone? Everything okay there?
It's so low. Your volume is low.
Yeah, I don't know what to do on the, probably get a microphone or
Yeah.
But should I do StoryTime?
Is your volume up on your computer?
All the way up. It's all the way up.
Is it all the way up on Zoom?
I don't know that you have a Zoom volume.
Yes, you do.
Where is the Zoom volume?
Go on Zoom and you see it in your
Speaker, is it? Speaker's the other way around. Audio, I can look at audio. I can see if this is just muted myself. No, it's just mute or unmute. I don't know what you can do with
Yeah, you're very low.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Shall I do? I'm gonna give you the option on this. StoryTime or Dave's Big Dictionary?
Whichever one, which do you prefer?
I'm trying to think. I'm looking at the stack of books that I'm kind of overdue
Which
doing.
do you feel is more something? Do you feel you have the energy to do story time, or?
I think I want to bring the Rabbi back after the interview
Okay.
and do the book that we have from the library.
The one about poo poo?
No, no. We have one about a bagel.
Oh, that's a.
Oh no.
It's a love story about a bagel and a cupcake or something.
Something like that. Yes.
I like that one. That's very nice.
Yes. So.
It's something like a bagel and a cupcake. What is she? A cupcake? The other one?
Well, don't tell me. Because I want to read it.
I think she's like Danish. She's
Rabbi
Danish.
Saul is going to read a book on camera about a bagel falling in love. It's actually a book called Bagel in Love. So basically, it's like most love stories. It's about a guy trying to find a hole. But
The bagel's a boy.
right, and he has a hole already in him. Well, maybe. Well, yeah, Bagel is a boy.
Yeah, the cupcake or whatever. The other Danish is a girl.
He really should be looking for a
A bagel.
or what are the Dunkin' Donuts? What are those things in the middle called?
Hole.
Yeah, what do they call them though? Not holes. Really?
Munchkins.
Munchkins, yes. Yeah, a bagel should be looking for a munchkin so that they complete each other and they create a rather disgusting confection out of the two of them. So that we will have story time today on Dave's Gone By, and we'll hold Dave's Big Dictionary for another time. Plus, we have Greeley Times. In fact, we should do that momentarily. This is where we go into the pages of the Greeley Tribune, an actual real live newspaper in northern Colorado that publishes on the web, obviously 24/7. Used to publish 7 days a week. Now the hard copy, I think, is 3 or 4 days a week. The Greeley Tribune. And it's a real regular newspaper, but they have a sense of humor over there.
I can't mute you.
Oh, you can't take my volume down? And they have a weekly column that is based on phone calls that come into the police department in Evans County, and we're in Weld County, basically Weld County.
I think it's probably local. I think that the police precinct was just for the county.
Yeah, it won't be Morgan. It won't
Actually,
Frost.
it's probably not even the county. It's probably just for the town.
Yeah, like Weld and Evans. I think that would be it.
It's just for Greeley.
Yeah, they won't mention Longmont. They don't.
I think it's Greeley.
Yeah, probably it's just a Greeley.
Police precincts are local. It's probably local.
Yeah, local police department. People call in saying, "Oh my God, something terrible is happening in the neighborhood. Can you send a cop?" Wow, that was quick. Wait, I haven't started the music yet for a segment that they call Cop Log, but we call it Greeley Times. By the way, did you hear, one of the great things about the archives of this program is that you can go back and listen, and you could hear me emit a little burp when I was telling you that this was going to be Cop Log and Greeley Times. Go back, once the show is on the archives, just go back a moment or two. You can hear just this tiny little. So I've coughed up phlegm, I've shown you my bunions, and I burped. My friends, who knows what will happen over the next 2 hours of this program. I do know that it's time for Greeley Time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have already a call coming in to the police precinct. Okay, I got it. I got the chicken phone. A caller on 28th Avenue saw a drunk man walking down the street, and he started a screaming match with a family across the street. And so,
there you go, hey.
Well, if you're drunk, you're going to want to engage.
Maybe it was the guy watching the drunk who got it.
Yeah, the pronouns here are very unclear. So this is a caller saw this guy, and he started screaming. Maybe it was the caller.
I think so, yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, family, see the drunk guy?" What do you don't want to look at a drunk guy? He's funny. Come on, he just pissed himself. Come on, it's hilarious. Could be. Oh, another chicken. I have another phone to grab this phone call. So many calls. I got it. A caller on 15th Street said he was riding his bike outside and a man was recording him. The man kept jumping in front of him yelling, "How am I harassing you?"
I love it. I love it.
That's one of the great moments of all time. It's like he's filming a guy on the street, which I guess you have a right kind of to do on a public street.
I don't know.
I'm not sure about that.
I think every state it's different.
But then literally jumping from the camera, "How am I harassing you?" That would be a great thing to put on my tombstone. If I go before,
How am I harassing you?
"How am I harassing you?" exclamation or question mark.
I was going to put Dave's Gone By.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
It's
maybe.
relevant.
Dave's Gone By. And you have the dates of me,
Yes.
like 1964 to
and
whatever.
the number of your show.
Like 2002
yes,
till
yes.
2025. So,
No, God forbid, 2090.
oh my God, I'll be like a human head at that point. They'll have figured out ways on a cryogenic ice neck, and then
Maybe you'll have a robot body.
ooh, I wouldn't mind
Your
that.
bunions look like you can shrink them and increase them.
I would have robo bunions.
Yes.
I want robo bunion. What else could they do? They could get big and large. Could they cook or no? Do you think robo bunions? And when I cough up phlegm, it would be like digital cubes.
It would be like Legos.
Yes.
Or Pez.
Yeah. But there would still be orange or yellow or kind of off green. That would be part of the thing.
Oh my goodness, that is not bueno. I need some help. please, sir.
And he gets up in the morning. What is wrong with people? I hate everything. Yes. I can't get a job. My job has no benefits. Oh, here we go. I'll get the trombone phone. A caller at 65th Avenue said a strange man wearing a blanket was stumbling down the middle of the highway. Now, the interesting thing is I try and teach, especially at this time of the semester, in my English classes, since we've covered the structure of an essay, we've covered introductions and body paragraphs and conclusions and all of that, and titles and MLA format and all the things you have to teach in undergraduate English comp. But now it gets to the point of, are you making your sentences really tight? Are you cutting out unnecessary words and phrases? Are you being completely clear and not adding in stuff you don't need? So let's look at this sentence, shall we? A caller at 65th Avenue said a strange man wearing a blanket was stumbling down the middle of the highway. I would ask the writer of this, do you really need the word strange? Could you not simply go with a man wearing a blanket was stumbling down the middle of the highway?
I think
strange is kind of conveyed by his garb.
Wearing a blanket's lovely. It means he's dressed, you know?
True. I don't know, strange doesn't convey enough. Perhaps a disheveled man, I don't know.
Scary.
Yeah, a former U.S. president. Could be a lot of different things there, but strange is just a little on the vague side if we want to be better writers. Oh. I knew a call was coming in. Then we got the ice cream phone. Yeah. So a caller, where are you? At an unknown address, one of these, said a neighbor was walking around the front yard with a gun. The caller asked the neighbor if he was all right, and the neighbor told the caller to, quote, get the F out of my house, unquote. So this is America right now. It's sort of like, well, caller's worried, wondering why his next door neighbor is wandering around the lawn with a gun, comes over to ask, is there a problem? And the neighbor says, even though the neighbor is not in the other fellow's house, he's like, get the fuck out of my house. This is basically where America is right now, in terms of politics, in terms of everything.
Maybe he was the guy wearing the drape.
He wasn't the bathrobe guy. I'm glad that. Oh wow, so many phone calls. I'm gonna pick up the poo phone. Oh why? Oh, poo phone always leaves like stuff on my ear. The poo phone. Where are you? M Street. A caller at a business on M
Street. Do you remember alphabetized streets where we used to live?
I just remember that the jail used to be on C Street.
We would go to the vet. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I don't remember all the higher letters, and like Q Street or something. No, Avenue Q I went to a couple of times, but that was in New York.
You want to be popular.
Caller, you have a wicked sense of humor.
I don't even know what song it's from.
You're gonna hate that. You're gonna hate when I tell you. Because popular.
Oh no, not Christina Chenoweth.
Yep. It was Christina Chenoweth's song in Wicked. Yeah. Oh well. A caller at a business on M Street said, a man in his 60s.
How do you know that?
Well, how do you know it's not late 50s and not early 70s? Yeah. A well-preserved 80 even. But a man in his 60s was throwing rocks at the building and trying to get inside. If there's someone in the building, why don't you just let him in? Why is he having to throw rocks at the building to get in?
Maybe he's not allowed in. You know, a lot of people on the Black Friday sales go crazy. They want to get in and get the best sale. Maybe he thought he could get in early, but you got to wait till it's
yeah. You know, we're only 2 weeks away from Black Friday.
I can't believe that.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. I'm going to get some Robo-Bunions. What are you going to get, babe?
It doesn't exist, I don't think.
Well, no, I'm sure either Lego or Elon Musk is working on Robo-Bunions as we speak. Bunions that can do things that are regular current bunions.
Do you think that would be where people would invest their money, though? Like
wind-powered bunions.
Oh, show them your cute.
As opposed to solar, because they would burn. What is this? Oh,
you drew them. I kept to me. So cute.
He looks sort of like a bungadillo, like a bunny
I
and an
don't know what it's
armadillo.
supposed to be. Is it supposed to be like a donkey?
Because when I first drew it, you said, "Why are you making udders on that thing?" I'm like, "No, those are legs. Those
Why
are
does
legs.
it have like 8 legs? It's a mammal.
8.
Those
Those are not udders. Those are legs.
are legs.
It's a cute little face, but I wasn't drawing a
What kind of
donkey,
animal is that
unfortunately.
supposed to be, honey?
I don't remember what it was. This supposed to be Mudeng?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh,
Of course it was.
Mudeng.
He's very cute. Now they have the Australian Mudeng.
There we go.
What's his name?
Oh, I don't remember what they named
the
the new one.
Australian Mudeng too. We saw him, but he was.
He's not as
filthy.
cute. And we also saw. Oh my God, we saw something that was supposed to be cute yesterday on social media of the latest cute little baby pygmy
I'm gonna
hippo,
look for new
and he was
Mudeng.
gross. He was all covered with straw and mud and crap. Standing next to his mom, presumably. I was like, that ain't no Mudeng. Mudeng was cute. This thing is like, ugh. It's like a walking lump of turd, which I've been called. But there you go. By the way, you're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife. It is our 967th episode of the program. We're calling it Forced Entry in honor of our guest coming in pretty soon, Leah Forster, the comedian. Plus, we'll have more of Greeley Times. We'll have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Rabbi Saul will be reading from Bagel in Love. We'll have our friends of the Daverhood, too. So kind of a fun show.
Look.
Is this
His name is Haggis.
Haggis? Oh, that's cute. Where to find? Oh, see, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. Look at this. Look at this. Now, Mudeng gets all this attention. Now, of course, you get all these other wannabes. It's kind of... Yeah, well, when Britney Spears became a thing, and then you had Tiffany,
Christina Aguilera,
right, and the boy bands bequeathed the Beatles bequeathed a million Beatle-type bands, including some really good ones. Now you have, like, Mudeng to the 10th power.
Let me see them.
Every other, find someone who is actually as cute.
Haggis is the one in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Yeah.
Tony is in Berlin. Oh, Tony's not good looking enough.
Yeah. See?
Mario's, I can't see.
Mario?
Malio.
Oh, Malio.
Malo.
Yeah.
And Lowly. Lowly.
Oh, she's a lowly hippo. Yeah.
But Mudeng has definitely got a cute.
Mudeng is the bomb. Now, Mudeng, probably another month, is not going to be so cute anymore. It's kind of like when the little rascals grew out of their cuteness phase. It happens. And it'll just be a big fat-ass hippo that does hippo things. But hippos are still fun to watch in a zoo. You know? Mudeng. Anyway.
This is Haggis, but he's dirty all the time.
Yeah, no, look at it. Look at this. Oh, could you get it back somehow? Look at this thing. This is trying to be a pretender to the throne of Mudeng.
Oh, I have to find it again.
Don't worry about it.
I'm going to look it up for you.
So look for haggis. Scottish name. Haggis is supposedly a really disgusting dish from a Scottish like pudding sort of thing. And when you see this hippo, this small, admittedly small hippo, you're looking at something gross and brown and disgusting, probably like what haggis actually is on a plate. So, do we have any haggisness here? I'm going to try and get this one. Oh!
Look at your face!
Look at this thing! Look at you're disgusted by my phlegm.
Yeah,
look at this.
Mudeng, they wash baby Mudeng a lot. You notice that, right?
Well, yeah, they clean them up for camera. Look at it. Here, compare this to my phlegm. Compare. No, don't look. Compare this to my cute little gob of phlegm. Right? I'm taking the phlegm every time. It's over. Well, this part isn't over. You can still see him. You know, if it weren't for the face, it would kind of look like a roast pork.
Why are they not cleaning him? What's wrong with them?
I think they're supposed to be. It's like when you take children and you purell them within an inch of their life, you take away their ability to fight infections, which is certainly going to be argued by our latest health secretary.
I think a lot of people were betting on the fight.
Oh, sure. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? Absolutely. I mean, I can care. I can bet. I don't care one way or another. But Tyson apparently lost. So he made only $20 million. Poor man.
Wow.
Poor man. He can pay for the other guy's ear surgery. Or you can pay to have Robin Gibbons' stitches put back anywho. Let's get back to Greeley Times, where we have a couple more phone calls that came into police department. Oh, we have them. We have one. I got.
He's really offensive looking. That little hippo. Look, he looks ill with that stuff.
I know. He looks terrible.
Why not just clean him?
Well, again, I wonder if they're not doing Mudeng a favor by keeping him tidy all the time. You know.
Oh, you think it's supposed to be?
Well, I'm guessing.
Why do you have hay all over your body? That can't be. Oh, maybe in Scotland it's cold.
Oh.
So maybe it's colder there for him. And
So give him a blanket. Don't cover him with hay and shit.
They don't want to clean him.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but again, you know, well, wasn't it? I don't know if it was a hippopotamus. I think in the Flanders and Swan song from many years ago. Flanders and Swan, one of their most beloved little novelty songs was "Mud, Mud, Glorious Mud." Nothing quite like it for soothing the blood. Follow me, follow down to the hollow, and there we shall wallow in glorious mud. And it was but I'm also thinking of One Hippopotamus by Alan Sherman.
I'm not sure.
Hold on, let me look for the lyrics of Mud, Mud, Glorious Mud. This is a great song. But is it about a hippo? And if it is, it makes yes, it's called the Hippopotamus Song by Flanders and Swan.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's healthy. Let me ask.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get out of Facebook. I'm watching you, okay? Is it healthy to keep a baby pygmy hippo in mud?
What did I say? Okay. Yes, quote AI. So AI knows everything. It's healthy for pygmy hippos to spend time in mud because it helps regulate their body temperature and keeps their skin moist. So imagine that it's kind of like when you know they tell people not to shampoo every day.
Oh, to keep oil in your hair.
Yeah.
But
once a week, sure. Twice a week, sure. But
the pygmy
hippos.
hippo in like a onesie or something, like, or knit them, crochet them a little. You know, they're like dachshund shape. Go to Petco or Chewy and get them a little outfit.
Yes, a moist one.
Yeah.
So that they don't lose their moisture. Or what you do is you get the hippo in the center of a pen, if it's small enough, and you get all the zookeepers together, and they all cough phlegm on him. And that keeps him, and gives him bacteria that he needs. By the way, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, and we have a call on Greeley Times. A caller on C Street. I'm not sure what section of C Street, but it might have been C section. A caller on C Street said someone who appeared to be driving impaired had pulled over and urinated on the caller's mailbox. Well, you know, if we have email and we have Gmail, isn't it about time we had P-mail? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, well, at least he's getting some of that out of him. It is. Oh, speaking of which, we have a trifecta now. This is very important. A caller coming up after this one. First of all, we have this. I'm going to answer the hanky phone. A caller on 2nd Street saw a pickup truck pulling a trailer. The truck hit a sidewalk, apparently unhooking the trailer, which then hit a tree. Oh, lovely.
That's just so many ways.
The truck hit a trailer, the truck hit a sidewalk, the trailer unhooked, and then it hit a tree. That's just, that's a bad day at the office, ladies and gentlemen. That is just unfortunate. So we have a couple more of these Greeley Times. But before we get to them, it's time for an Elsewhere. So this is part of the segment where we go away from Greeley, Colorado to elsewhere in the world for a ridiculous, pointless, crazy story. And we have one. We have one every week, ladies and gentlemen. Our Elsewhere comes all the way from London, England. I don't know what accent. No idea what that is. From London, England, ladies and gentlemen. An Elsewhere here on Dave's Gone By. You know, with the holidays coming, we all think of chestnuts roasting on an open fire. But the British have other traditions, one of which was allegedly threatened by a competitor last week at a competition. But fear not, Dave Jenkins was found innocent. Now, Dave Jenkins was competing in the World Conquer Championships. Conquer, C-O-N... No, Conquer, C-O-N-K-E-R. What is this? I'll tell you. This is where is a British chestnut whacking championship. Now, yeah.
The trombone.
Yeah. Now, Shaker was cleared Monday. This happened this past week of cheating after an investigation into alleged malfeasance at the World Conker Championships. Now, the game involves using conkers, C-O-N-K-E-R. These are glossy brown seeds of a horse chestnut tree.
Have you ever encountered that? Do you know what that is?
I have no idea. I know what chestnuts look like. I'm guessing that chestnuts are conkers, but I'm not sure.
I'm very confused about all that.
Well, here's the deal. The player then uses his conker to smash his opponent's chestnuts. The object of the game is to mash your opponent's nuts.
That's horrible.
Well,
Who would play that game? What's the prize? Like $1 million?
I don't think the prize is $1 million. I really don't think the prize is $1 million. More than 200 conker enthusiasts entered the annual competition in the English village of Southwark earlier this month. Dave Jenkins, age 82, won the men's tournament. I guess it doesn't take that much to smash your opponent's chestnut seed.
You have to have maybe he has experience with it, you know?
But heavens to Murgatroyd, he was then accused of cheating by using, I swear to you, by using a steel chestnut that he kept in his pocket. Now,
whoa, that's like when you told me when they use sandpaper on a baseball or something. That's like brass knuckles. You can't do that.
No, you can't do it.
What's he thinking?
Well. After investigators studied film and photo footage evidence, and they heard testimony from the judges and the umpires.
You would know if someone hit you with a piece of metal.
Well, you're hitting your nut.
Yeah, but you would hear it.
You would hear it. You go bam.
So listen.
Versus. There's a difference. You
know who did it? Christine Jennerworth. She was the little golden.
Now, Jenkins did have a steel. Go ahead. He did have a steel chestnut in his pocket. However,
David, come on.
He said he kept it.
It's like saying you're in a card game and you have a deck of cards in your pocket, but you're not using it to cheat. Come on.
He said it was just for comedy.
Come on now.
He just did it as a novelty thing.
You believe that as a comedian?
Well, the thing is, they rolled the footage, and they showed photographs and testimony of the judges, and it was agreed that there would be been no moment, no opportunity, because you have to have motive and means and opportunity. Yeah. No, they said there was no real moment when he could have made the switch, where he could have reached in his pocket, grabbed the chestnut, and switched it out with the other one, with the real one, and used it instead, and then switched it back. There's just, nobody noticed it, nobody saw it, the camera was on him all the time, the film was going, people were watching him, although he did have a steel chestnut in his pocket, he never actually went and used it for nefarious purposes during the match. It was just there to show the kids, to have a little fun as a joke. In the game, he used only a real, regular chestnut to win and smash his opponent's nut. By the way, he did win for the men's championship in the tournament, but 34-year-old American Kelsey Bonschbach, I remember this name. This is going to be like the next female basketball player of international renown. American Kelsey Bonschbach was crowned Queen Conker after beating Jenkins in the finale. So she is the ultimate Queen Conker, the conker champion of Britain for this year. And all hail to her. And all hail to, let's give Dave Jenkins the benefit of the doubt and say that he had a sense of humor. He brought a steel conker, didn't actually use it for anything but fun. So, good job. Maybe he'll get her next year when he'll be 83. and hopefully she'll have found better things to do with her life than spend hours practicing and then appearing in a tournament of smashing people's chestnuts. But that's England, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2024, and those are elsewhere for this episode, for this.
None of that sounds real. I don't buy. He had to use that chestnut.
Why?
Why would you ever go with?
This is a veteran champion. He's won before.
So you think he's carrying like a trophy chestnut?
A comedy chestnut to showcase. I'm going to use this one, kids. But he actually doesn't. I've done everybody, people who think funny do things like that. And remember, these are people at a chestnut smashing competition.
I think it should be serious. You can't play with that.
It'd be sort of like when they have that Italian thing where everybody throws tomatoes at each other.
Oh, yeah.
And people spend the night before putting rocks inside tomatoes, which they don't.
No.
Anyway, let's get back to Greeley Times. A couple more because we have some really gross ones. These are people complaining to the local police department in Greeley, Colorado. Yeah. A caller at a park on 13th Street said a man... This is actually an appropriate noise. A man, I forgot to pick up the phone, was defecating outside next to the bathrooms.
There you go.
Is it sort of a recommendation? You see the word bathroom, and it's like
But it's
here?
close. I mean, I guess he was close. Maybe someone was inside.
I know, if the door wasn't
I
open.
remember you and our friend had to go real bad, and if you...
Tell the story.
You say you do better.
Well, no. I mean, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but we were in Central Park, which can be endless when you need to get through it. And we needed to cross from one end of the park
West to east, yeah.
to another to get back. And I'd eaten something not so good, and that was
So did
working
our
on me
friend,
in the hot sun. And we were praying to find a bathroom. We saw porta potties. There was a homeless guy in one of them. So I could go all the way back to the university where they were staying at that time. And it took like 20 minutes, and we were just dying. We were just like literally me and this mutual friend of ours were like screaming to get to a bathroom. I don't know how we made it. I don't know how
I don't know how you did. I guess when you were running, you probably clenched.
Yeah.
Is that true? I don't know.
Because I was this close the whole time to say, I'm going to go behind a tree and I'm just going to get this done. But we managed on that particular event. And when we did get to a bathroom, we went into the bathroom, which was important. Yeah. So, and then one more. A caller on 35th Avenue. This caller, I got him on the chicken phone, was wondering why officers in Greeley wear gray uniforms while some deputies at Weld County Jail have brown uniforms. And I say, well, if you must know, it's because some of those deputies do have diarrhea. So
Tell them what we saw on that show, that image.
What? When?
We went and said, good food, no diarrhea.
Oh, yeah. One of the segments that we enjoy watching on is it Facebook or Instagram or Twitter? Which is your feed?
It was one of them. I think it was pulling from TikTok.
Was it TikTok? Oh, so there's this guy on TikTok. He's very funny. And people send him, obviously, hundreds a day of badly worded, ridiculous. It kind of goes back to the old Leno segment of newspaper headlines and things, of misspelled things and ridiculous things and things that are dirty that weren't meant to be. So he's kind of picked up the mantle of what Leno was doing on headlines. And one of them was literally in a restaurant, good food, no diarrhea.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, I would eat there. I would, unless I was in the mood for diarrhea.
That's true.
In which case, that would be the last restaurant I would go to because I know they would not have diarrhea. They would be out that day. The diarrhea supplier hit a snag between Kentucky and North Carolina.
How many people do you think in your feed have bet on the Tyson fight? It seems like a lot of people bet.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody's betting these days. That's the thing now.
Is that the new thing?
Every commercial on TV, every commercial on the internet, every what do they call those? Before you get to watch a video on YouTube, you have to sit through one or two ads, banner ads or whatever they call them. So everything is this betting thing, gamble here, don't gamble. But if you're going to gamble, try these guys. It's like, it's non-freaking
How many people are
stop.
talking about, one person released what they call as the script for the fight. that they leaked a script.
Well, is it almost more like wrestling rather than a boxing
That's
match?
what I wonder, because it says like round 1, Mike Tyson, it gives like instructions. I don't know if that's real.
I don't know either. Well, anyway, I didn't watch the Tyson fight. I didn't watch the Jake Paul, who is, 40 years younger, winning. But, hey, whatever. They have a big payday. My payday is being able to get to do comedy and other crazy stuff for you guys every week on Dave's Gone By, and that includes doing this segment, Greeley Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool. I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Dave's Gone By on this Saturday, November 16th, 2024, our 967th episode of this program. We have our friends of the Daverhood coming up. We've also got StoryTime with Rabbi Saul Solomon. And here's the deal. I've gotten into this phrase now. I use "here's the deal" all the time.
Why?
I don't know where I
did you
picked
pick
it up.
up?
I don't know.
I don't say that. Here's the deal. So you must have heard someone say it.
I don't say, I like it. It's sort of a way to cut through everything. It's kind of like, okay, here's the deal.
Okay,
I
let's
like
ask the question. Who says here's the deal?
Because I use it in class a lot also.
It's not.
Oh, it may be mine.
Yeah.
So if you start using it, attribute it to me. Please.
Here's the deal. If you use here's the deal.
I took "Here's the Deal" from Dave's Gone By. Yeah. Let's make a "Here's the Deal." It
Oh,
doesn't.
maybe it's like let's make a deal.
No.
No.
Well, maybe. It kind of, you're bumper, you're kind of talking. You're saying, hey, how's the kids? Oh, yeah, why? Okay, let's make a deal. Let's get to it. So let's get to this. This is our guest of the day in the Daverhood. So we're very, very happy to have a woman who's going to be off Broadway for a couple of weeks from the end of November through the middle of December at Theater for the New City. In her one-woman show is going to be called, or is called, That's Yentertainment. And she has every right to use this because she was a real, legit, straight-up Yenta from the old school.
Wow.
Leah Forster was an Orthodox, well, she's still Orthodox, but was a Hasidic, Orthodox Jewish woman in an arranged marriage, in the Hasidic community, obeying all the rules and all the laws, singing separately, dancing separately at weddings, doing all the stuff that straight up serious black hat or Orthodox or black, whatever, what do they call it? Black stroimel Orthodox women wear, but black snood wearing women.
She was from, right?
She was from, absolutely.
Where was she from?
Well, she was from Borough Park. Oh, anyway, and while she was going through all that and making a career in home health care and things like that, she was starting to do stand-up comedy. But
how she got in it, I mean, I'm sure we'll find out.
oh, we're going to ask her. We're going to
It's
ask
really
her.
interesting. Like, how do you get in there?
Yeah, particularly in that community. How do you become an entertainer, a twimler, a stand-up comic not for the general world, but she was a comedian for women, because that's all she could perform in front of, for the serious Borough Park, Orthodox, black hat, long coat, white shirt, payas, fringes community, right? And she did this for a long time. And then she realized this life was no longer for her, or at least some aspects of it. And that some aspects of I think I'm not sure. I think she's in her 40s at this point. Maybe late 30s. But Leah Forster, is now telling about this whole transformation that she had to effect within herself and in what she does. Because she's now back doing stand-up comedy, right? And she's now back being a whole different person, and yet, still very much connected to and following the rites and rituals of Judaism, albeit not of the Hasidic sect that she was in. So, we have in the Daverhood, talking to the great, the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Saul Solomon, Leah Forster. She spoke with him yesterday. She's not on live today because it's Shabbos. And, she's out doing at synagogue and doing Shabbos-y things or not doing things because it is a Shabbos. Rabbi Saul, he's just Rabbi Saul. He's sitting there eating borscht on the toilet, which is his way of spending a Saturday morning after services. But together, they spoke yesterday, and we are going to share that with you. Let me share my screen. Here it is.
David, do you think, before you put the interview, do you really think that fight was fixed?
Oh, I haven't read enough about it. I don't know enough about it.
I was going to ask you, because you know about more sports.
I just have to kill some of these things here because people are seeing my screen. There's the hippo I was looking up. That can go away. Now I have to bring up.
I'll tell you if it looks good. Hold on.
I am screen sharing, but where is?
What is that? You gotta get your file open.
Hold on, I gotta move this. This is really annoying. Okay, gotta
If we
open
get
this
a
up.
cat, could we call it Mr. Meow Meow?
We wouldn't be the first to do that.
If we get what are you doing?
I'm trying to get the What? What is this? Where are we?
No, okay. I see your screen. It looks like it's a tutorial for like.
Yeah,
It looks
I know.
like a Zoom. It looks like a YouTube tutorial.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Is this a YouTube tutorial?
Well, once you click on this, then a screen comes up, and on that screen you can watch an interview video that a crazy rabbi does with a crazy comedian. He's Rabbi Saul Solomon. She's Leah Forster. And here they are.
Oh, shalom, my friends, shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Saul Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And what a thrill I have right now to be talking not just to a Jewess. I talk to Jewesses all the time. I got Jewesses coming out of my ass, but I also, hello, look at that. That's a nice shirt and nice boobs, which are great things that I particularly like. The thing is, I'm talking to a frummie, an actual Orthodoxy Jewish girl. Yes, my friend, she is here. Now, she was orthodox back in the day. She was a chassid, literally. And then she kind of took a break from this for various reasons, including discovering a new wing to her sexuality, if you will, and we will. But now she has still gone back to Orthodox Judaism while being a stand-up comedian. Her name is Leah Forster, and you can first of all go see her tell her story with lots and lots of jokes in her off-Broadway show at Theater for the New City. It is called That's Yentertainment. Okay, it's Yentertainment. Okay, That's Yentertainment. It's Theater for the New City. It's starting at the end of November, running through the middle of December. Basically, also to push this book that she's got coming out called Club MILF. I elongated it not because something else elongated when I think of milk. No, this is because of the name of the book, MIILFF. I'm telling you all about it. Let's have Leah Forster tell you all about everything. First of all, we're doing this on an early Friday afternoon. Shalom to you, Leah.
I get to Erev Shabbos, Rab Shah.
Oh, look. You make him so happy when you do this. You're giving him such nachas. He's even forgiven you for ducking out of the whole chassid thing. Almost. He's thinking about it. But is it Leah or Leah? I think I mispronounced it there.
Leah. I grew up Lila, and I later adapted to Leah.
Leah. Well, welcome, Leah. Now, you have been a comedian. This is what people might not realize. You were a comedian stand-up back when you were still a chassid, and you were performing for Hasidic women. What the hell was that like?
It was actually a lot of fun. I mean, it was just a sad day when I was outed because, I depended on the from religious community to see my jokes and to come out and, enjoy my stuff. And then once I was outed, that went away. Like, because women weren't going to come see a lesbian, on stage. Their husbands wouldn't let them. The community wouldn't let them. But I loved it. It's wild. I still perform a lot for the religious community. And that's what a good actor does. They're able to be a little bit of a chameleon. When you're in this audience, you show up like that. And when you're in that audience, you show up like that. So I loved it.
I mean, I'm more of a guinea pig when I perform. But here's a couple of different questions. you use very specifically this I was outed as opposed to I came out. So, who, how, what, who outed you to the community?
Oy, Rebbe, you have a whole day for the story?
Actually, we have 30 minutes because then we got to light the candle. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The short version is that it was a girl that I went to seminary with, and for many years I was closeted, and someone saw someone who saw someone who saw me in a bar, a lesbian bar, and I wasn't dressed modestly or appropriately, and they took a picture of me and sent it to someone who sent it to someone, and it went viral. So I was fired from my job. You know, my parents excommunicated me. It was a hard time. It was a low point. Not gonna lie.
No, I mean, it's, again, so many questions about how are you with your parents now? Are they alive, and what's, do you talk to your parents today?
Tough relationship. My mother's not alive. Unfortunately, she passed away and we never communicated. I did reach out to her for many, many years and texted her and called her, and she never took my call. I do believe she's in the world of truth, and I think that I have a better relationship with her now because we're in the world of truth. And I do think she looks down on me and says, I get it. You're cool. You're a cool Jew. You're a good person, But it was too hard for her in this world to accept me. That's how I see it. So that's my relationship with my mom. And my dad and my brothers, very, very complicated and painful, and we are not in communication.
Can I ask, what the hell? I mean, it's okay, a man lies with another man, stone him and all that. So, everybody gets stoned nowadays. I don't know what the big problem is. But what the hell is their problem?
I'll give it to you like this. This is a very good question, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know. It's not that they have a problem with me per se. They have very strict guidelines in their community. Their world is very safe. When anything threatens that safety, that becomes a problem. So it's not me particularly, it's anything that's goyish. Now, you and I know what's a goy. A goy is a Gentile, someone who's not Jewish. It's not a derogatory term at all. It's like we have Jews and we have Gentiles.
Right, yeah.
Yidden and goyim, translated. But to my mother, to my community, to the bar park yentas, it was goyish to wear red nail polish. It was goyish to have a TV in your house. It was goyish to eat chol of stam, which is O-U-D. So, of course, being gay or not wanting to cover my hair anymore and wear sheitel was goyish to my community. That's something they can't see past. That doesn't mean everyone's like that. That doesn't mean most Jews are like that. It means particularly my surroundings were like that. Would I say they had a problem? Yes, but the problem is so much bigger than the problem. It doesn't come out at me or to other people like me. It's their threat of their little safe cocoon that they worked so hard to create post-Holocaust. That's what it is.
Fair enough. But I'm also curious, you mentioned that you do perform in front of religious people still. But since you have come out, have you performed in front of chassids? Because I know people who go to the theater all the time. They're Orthodox. They will at sundown stop things on Friday and so forth, but they're not chassids. Have you done the Black Hatter circuit since?
Absolutely. Tons and tons. And I perform a lot for Hasidish people, a lot for Yeshivish people, big in the Chabad community. They hire me a lot for birthday parties, roasts, and I come dressed in costume, so I wear a tichel or something so that I respect their parameters. I'll wear a skirt. It's their setting. I'm working for them, and it's a job, like showing up at an academia environment and wearing a blazer. It's no different. That's how I look at it.
But
yeah.
But it's nice that they invite. So why is it one sect then that had such a problem with you that they called a restaurant? Tell the restaurant story.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. So after I was outed and I rebuilt my life, I had realized that, okay, I can still be in the community even though I'm going to get divorced and all these things. However, it will be tough. So I'm going to keep my private life private, meaning I'm not going to publicize that I'm queer or anything like that, meaning I kept my jokes appropriate. I kept my social media appropriate. And when I say appropriate, I mean like appropriate for all, family friendly. But then I booked a restaurant many years ago for a New Year's Eve event. And the restaurant called me a week before the event, and I sold out the event. This was back in 2018. And they told me they need to cancel my event because the rabbi told them that they will pull the hechsher, which is the kosher certification, if I show up. Because we don't want this dirt in our backyard. We don't want to bring this lesbianism into our community, which really hurt me because I worked so hard not to share that part of myself. And it was that very thing. After that, I was like, I'm no more keeping secrets. Like, you know what? What's the worst thing that could happen? You already outed me twice. And actually, it's been a very good approach to my life because I've lost it all. My own mother died and never spoke to me. So when you've experienced that, the only place to go from there is up. And it's kind of nice because, like, people make fun that Hasidim, they're like chutzpahdig, you know, and they're like brazen. And I'm like, yes, I am. But it's okay because I had nothing to lose and I had nothing to lose. So, you know.
And by the way, it says, once that restaurant canceled you, a couple of other restaurants called and said, come perform for us. So immediately things were opening up. And also,
yeah, but that sucked even more because the other restaurant that took it over, I went online and said, I'm canceling the event due to the restaurant refusing to allow me to perform there because of my sexuality. I was okay with that. I shared it with my followers. That was the end. However, people started watching it, and I got messages from another restaurant saying, Leah, we got you. We're going to support you. We don't care. They invited me in. I built up my hope. The mafia, the kosher mafia, bullied them, sent out WhatsApp messages, which is super popular in our community, the WhatsApp circuit, and Instagram, and banned me and basically threatened them also to pull their certification. That's when I said, and that's when I like publicly said, I'm not sitting down and taking this. I've lost too much in my life. And I was an adult. Like at that point, I'm like in my 30s. I'm not going to be like, you know, give it to me hard. You know, I defended myself and my human rights as a human. And that story ended up really, really giving me a big platform, which I'm so incredibly grateful for. Because I was funny. I was funny before, like nothing changed from one day to the next. Literally nothing changed. The only difference is that one day you knew I liked my husband, and the next day like nothing changed. I was the same mother, same teacher, same human. But because of my preference, it was, and people are like, being gay is a choice. I'm like, all right, so it is a choice. I choose women. Okay.
All right, I choose women too. I definitely prefer it. Actually, I do have to ask. I'm wondering, do you have to cut a hole in the sheet to do scissoring? I'm just kind of wondering if that is that a thing, or is that no?
Oh, revenue.
Just ask. But let me ask you this though: when you got married initially, your husband, male guy, before now you're married to a woman, were you? It was an arranged. What were your feelings on your wedding evening, or the first time you met the man that you knew immediately you would be supposedly spending your life with?
My husband was a good man. My ex-husband is a good man, and his parents are lovely, and the community's lovely. Like, they weren't cruel to me at all, and honestly, this is growth. And for people listening out there, you must understand that just like you made a choice in your life and I'm moving away from certain things, there are other people that also have to move away from certain things, the ideas they had of you, the image that they raised you in. And there's parts of them that also have to grieve pieces of that. My own child is non-binary, born a physical female, and I still mess up sometimes, and I love my child. And also and I explained to my child, I also need grace in case I misgender you or in case I say something I shouldn't, because to me, I held you, I birthed you, I raised you for 16 years a certain way. And if at 17, 18 or whatever it is, you figured out that this is what you are, I support it. And also it's going to take me time to make adjustments because I also have to. So if you want a relationship to work, it requires grace on both parts. So I feel like when I left, I was very much in my ego and I took everything very personally. Why can't people see me? Why am I not seen? Why are you so narrow-minded? And I was so angry. But like, hello, my grandmother went through the Holocaust. Like, she grew up, her best friends were her neighbors and chill. And then from one day to the next, she was taken off to the concentration camps and her own friends watched her being taken away. So when she survived, she was like, screw you all. You're all backstabbers. I want nothing to do with Goyim. And that's the way she raised her children. And that's the way I was raised. Our world is very small. Stick together. The outsiders are not safe. They can hurt you. So if I'm curious about art or music or entertainment, or I feel like I have a great voice and I want to sing for more than just Heinisch ladies, or if I have good jokes to make that are more than just a bigger joke, you know, then I want to see what else is out there. I want a choice. I want to see. That's very scary for them. That's so scary. You're just like the goyim, you know? So I've learned that the grace has to go both ways. It has to go both ways. And it's about emotional maturity. So I'm done with the being angry and whatever. And instead, I'm a comedian. The stuff that's wacky, I turn into punchlines.
I think the anger is still there. I can still sense some of the anger underneath. But if you lay your punchlines over it, you can kind of... Because, I mean, what was it like also a little over a year ago, since you are still performing very seriously for the Jewish community and the outside world, October 7th, did that make a connection to you, get you closer to Judaism? There's an umbrella. Yes. What has that been like in the Jewish community, really in it?
Such a loaded question. Well, my awakening, you want to talk about wokeness? My awoke moments came during the pandemic. I started to see things a lot differently then. It literally felt like I was back in the frum community where I would walk down the street and somebody would be like, excuse me, your mask is off your nose. And I was like, crap. It felt like I was in Beis Yaakov High School, all girls religious school. And the Rebbitzin was like, Leah, your skirt is 3 inches below your knee instead of 4 inches. That's what it felt like with the mask. Like I had the same group of people like bullying me, like about this or that, or, you know, and I wasn't the only one. The whole world was like that. People were like sitting at home, cooped up, depressed, and picking on other people for not being frum enough with their COVID restrictions. It was at that moment where I was like, I worked too hard to escape a cult and cult-minded thinking. I'm never going back into another cult. I'm living my life. I'm not going to let somebody bully me about who to vote for or how to think or how to identify sexually. I don't want that. I worked too hard to escape from that. So that was my wokeness. So by the time October 7th rolled around, none of this was a surprise to me. I had already embraced my Judaism. I was very proud of it. I was not ashamed of it anymore. I had done the work and I'm like past that bitterness and that anger. I know, you know, it's always there underneath, but I'm saying like working through it, doing the Lord's work. And at the end of the day, like here I am, a grown adult living in society, new. Like there's going to be this, there's going to be that. And we're just out here rolling with the punches. That's how I feel.
But I'm trying to understand, like, you went through such a thing of getting out of a community that, not 100%, but certainly shunned you to the point where your own parent and family and so forth is on you. How do you find your way? If I got out of anything at that point, I won't go back to it. Do you have a belief in God, or is it just literally instilled in you by the culture?
I have a total belief in God. I'm very, very faithful. Very, very faithful. And that's never going to change. Like, I mean, who knows, you know, whatever. But I'm saying, like, I choose God because I want, not because I have this argument with my child who doesn't believe and who's not a staunch atheist, but like agnostic or whatever. Or like, if we actually sat down and we were like philosophical, I'm sure my child would have a lot to say. My child's 20, very smart. But what I've come to realize, and this is what I told my kid, at the end of the day, I believe because I want to, not because it's true or it's not true. Faith is a choice. I choose. I'm okay with that. Too much in life is like certain. There are certain things. I'm okay with uncertainty. So what? I know. I don't need to know. What do we really know? We're living in a matrix, baby.
Yeah, matrix yet. All right. This is interesting. I don't know math, so that you've already lost me on that. But let me also ask you, in terms of one of the things that you're known for, besides joke, is that you do all these characters. You do comical characters. Were you doing, I am assuming you already developed those back in the day. What was your first character that wasn't you?
Oh my God. Okay. The first character was this famous character that I do. Her name is Leah. She's from Tom's River. She's a little girl, like imagine like a 9-year-old that's like super disrespectful and like whiny. And I based it off of my younger self, who so badly wanted to be a chutzpah, and she wanted to say those disrespect. By the way, audience, if you don't know what a chutzpah is, it's just someone who marinates in chutzpah, who has like extra doses of chutzpah. Exactly, you're a chutzpah. So I remember when my mother said to me, well, my aunt actually said to me, Lila, I heard your grades are slipping. And my immediate response was, and I heard your marriage is slipping. It like slipped out of my mouth. And it was at that moment that I realized Bela's going to be a hit. She's a chutzpah. She like, you know, she gives her one. Her father says, she says, Tati, why did God create men first? And her father says in his Hasidic voice, well, Shefela, Hashem created men first because men are elite. Men are better than women. And I looked at him and said, Tati, I thought it was because first you make a rough draft before you make a final draft. Chutzpah! A plain chutzpah. So I grew up with a lot of chutzpah, and that was my first character. However, I have so many memories. The first time I went to in our community, we don't have Victoria's Secret or like whatever. We have lingerie shops. And there's this one in the basement. And my mother took me for my first brassiere, you know, and it's like a secret. And it's, you know, we grew up very, very modest, very demure, so super tznius, and I showed up, and it was a woman who had a business in her basement. And she had like 85,000 bras hanging from her basement walls. And like when I walked in, she would like assess me and be like, like I'm a tzedakah project, like put her in the back room. And then they'd bring out the measuring tapes. And then one would yell to the other, her right one is bigger than her left. We're going to need to get the schnabberin in here, which is like the seamstress, you know, to adjust and throw an extra $50 at it. And then my mother was like, well, we have her here. Let's get a girdle. So that was my experience. And so my second character was born, which is Bailey, which is like Bela, but she's the woman who started Tichel Tuesday. So I put a tichel on my head. I created this Hasidic character who has 50,000 businesses in her basement. One of them is she has a mikveh. Go to my website, www.dipandstip.com. And she's a mikveh lady.
The mikveh is the ritual bath that Jewish women go into, before marriage, but also they do it fairly regularly so they don't smell bad, I guess. I honestly don't know why they do it.
Inaccurate. Okay. Totally inaccurate.
Yeah, well, why do you
funny.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was my second character. And then as I grew up, I was like surrounded. So I lived in Brooklyn, and there was a train station right next to us, and we were near Brighton Beach. So like all the girls would get on the train from like the area, and they would go to like Kingsborough College to like study dental pajamas, you know, что такое. And they'd be like, oh my God, this guy, like, he's trying to go on date with me. Like, что? What I look like to you? No Gucci, no Gucci, okay? So, like, I created that character. And again, like, these are different times, so it wasn't considered offensive. But, like, I took taxis in New York City, you know what I mean? You're driving in a car. What is your name? Omar Pakatana, you know what I mean? Like, go to my website, .com, you know what I mean? So it was like... At the time,
you couldn't
that was okay.
That now. You would, yeah.
No way. I would never make a joke. I mean, hi, everyone on the podcast. Watch that get clipped, go viral, and I get canceled. And my answer to that is it would be the first time I got canceled. My mother canceled me, so I was trendy before it was friendly.
Trust me, they'll cancel me first over the scissoring joke. I'm telling you, I'll get hell for that. But it's all right.
Actually, Bailey has another character. She has this character, but she has a business. She fixes scheitels. You could book appointments, pits and blow on the go. She gives the best blow jobs, and nobody can scissor like she does. Chap, Zach, wrap it in a bow, baby. So yeah.
Are some of these characters going to be part of your show at Theater for the New City, which is That's Yentertainment? That's playing from November 27th through December 15th. Are you doing the characters too, or is it just stand-up stuff?
No, it's the characters too. So basically, the way that I see it is that anyone else who's had my story, which is leaving the ultra-Orthodox community, you know, the challenges, that trauma, they write the books and they go on the TV interviews and they do the podcast and, they talk about their trauma. And I'm like, past that point, I think people forget that after PTSD comes PTG, post-traumatic growth. I'm in my growth era. Our resilience is incredible. And I actually want to create magic and joy. So yes, I took my story of what it was like growing up and being told I must be married from a young age, what it was like giving birth. My child is actually in the story. My child is a genius vocalist and super duper talented and has a very bright future and is working on their first album. And so they'll be a part of the show as well. But it's the story of a woman who grew up in a Heimish neighborhood in Borough Park. And I use the word Heimish a lot and I talk about what it is. And the beautiful parts of what it was like, the homey, delicious, yumminess, and the craziness, the absolute bonkerness of it all. It's funny. It's crazy. The best part of the show is that I took all my songs that I created from back in the Hasidish days, and I'm reprising them in our world. So it has twists. It's new bops, but it's the same old Herzig Heimish, and it's done in this beautiful musical, and David is producing it, the director of the show. I must tell you.
David who?
We're live, right? You're gonna cut this out. Can you edit this later?
I can wait. You can look up. Look up her.
Okay.
That's the entertainment. Look up the director. Sorry.
David. I just call him Rabbi. That's what I call him. I've never had a theater run in New York City, like of multiple shows, meaning people call me, they hire me, and I do a show, and then I move on with my life. This is a run that could potentially be turned into Broadway, right? So it's a totally, and I'm struggling because I'm getting yelled at a lot, and I'm getting direction, and
that's what you have a director for. But
I'm pumped. I'm so excited.
I mean, it's an exciting and delightful thing. So let me ask also. I want to ask also that we're talking to Leah Forster. But going back, and I know I keep pushing you back into the trauma things, but you must get letters and emails and maybe even phone calls from women who are still in the life and feel like they. Are you ever put in the position of being a counselor to tell people, I know you're married, but you can, if you need to, leave, and there's support networks and so forth?
Great question. And I address this all the time, and it's never enough. It's never enough. Yes, I have a lot of followers, very blessed, and I get hundreds, and if I tell you hundreds without exaggeration, like a week, from people telling me they're deeply closeted, or even men that are unhappy in their marriages, or young kids that are afraid to come out. But six stories, like people with 7 kids. I did a show, and after the show, these 2 Hasidish ladies came over to me, and one said to me, "Hey, Leah, can I ask you a question?" A young, adorable Hasidish woman. She said, "Are you afraid that you were going to lose custody of your child when you left the community?" She said to me. And the other mother standing next to her, also a young, beautiful woman, not older than 27, not older, said, "You know what? I hope somebody takes my children away from me so I can finally breathe." I asked her, "How many children do you have?" She said 4. And in my head, I thought, what's worse? The one sitting there petrified that they're going to take away her kid? Or the other one that's like, "Please take my kid so I can breathe." And I was like, that part makes me so sad. And I do want to address it because it's real. It is real. And for those of you watching and like, "Leah, why are you talking negative about the community?" give me a break. It's like talking negative about anything that is negative. It exists. I'm not sitting here and highlighting it, but what I am saying is it exists. Now that it exists, let me share further. Somebody reaches out to me and asks me, what should I do? I always respond, sending you love, energy, and strength, but I am not a professional. Please reach out to a professional. I don't know anyone's husband, marriage, children. Like, I had one child, and I'm absolutely terrified to leave for one child because I was so scared that they would take my child from me. What is somebody with 4 children, 5 children, financially tied to the community? Losing your family is a real trauma. It's a real trauma. That's like a rejection wound that never goes away. I'm trying to be in a healthy relationship. I struggle every day because my mother's voice lives right here. My community's voice lives right here. These are the people that till I was 30, not 20, 30, told me that if I wear pants, don't cover my hair, get a tattoo, sing, dance, read, get an education, become a women's CEO, I can go on and on. All those things wouldn't be good enough for somebody. So one day I woke up, I said, I don't need to be good for anyone. I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm not. I'm in competition with myself. And it really changed a lot for me. So when someone reaches out to me, I say, I'm not a professional. I don't know your situation. I'm sending you strength. I will occasionally give them resources, like these are organizations you can try to reach out to, but I'm not equipped. I know people feel like they want me to hear their story. It's because they're so desperate for somebody to hear them. And everyone wants to share their own personal battles. But to be honest, I don't think it matters. If you're Hasidish, Litvish, I don't think it matters if you're Muslim. I really don't. This is a general theme. Rejection is a general theme. We are in relationships with people who reject us for our looks, for what we say, for what we do, for our habits. So religion is just one factor. Which means I shall live.
Well, let me tell you.
Period.
Since we're talking about this, my darling wife, Miriam Libby, and I have 22 and a half children. You're welcome to at least 6. So, some of them we love, some of them are just like, yeah. So feel free. We can put them in a U-Haul, get them down.
I would just like to say, if you're gonna give me them, give me the good ones. Like,
why would I give up the good?
Give me the damage. So what's the sell? What's in it for me?
Okay, do you remember the first comedian you ever saw watching? Maybe. Wait, did you have a television at home? You couldn't have, or did no? So when was the first?
Hell no.
Yeah, when did you first see a stand-up comedian?
Let me tell you, I went to a internet cafe when I was married with a kid, and my child was young, to Google because I didn't want to use my computer. I didn't want my husband to see what I was Googling, so I looked girls who like girls up. Now the thing is, have you ever looked up girls who like girls?
Oh, nightly, yes.
So when I saw what popped up on the screen, I shut that screen and I was like, that's not what I want. I want love. I want connection. I want to fall in love with I want real. So that didn't relate to me at all. And I went back into the closet for another 5 years because I didn't want chazarish, or as the trend they say today, it's not demure,
But this
that was my
stand-up, first seeing stand-up comedy, not lesbian.
Yeah, I was just sharing that.
Oh, yeah.
I was just sharing that. So comedy I've been doing since the moment I was born. My mother used to tell me, if you keep making jokes like that, you're never going to find a man.
You did.
I'm like,
you found
okay,
more
cool.
men than you wanted, but yeah, there you go.
One more than I wanted.
No, but literally, were you at a certain age taken and you saw Elon Gold in person at a benefit or something? I mean, when did you first see someone standing up and telling jokes in a professional situation?
A Bagel at a chasana, at a Jewish wedding, at a Hasidic wedding. So there was a mitzvah dance, which is when the bride and groom dance at the very end, but they use a garto, which is a string that, actually the couple hold hands. They hold hands. But I mean the mother and the father, whatever. It's a mitzvah dance. It's a complicated Hasidic tradition. So there used to be a Bagel, which is like the comedian, and he would rhyme too. He was more than just a comedian. He would write these beautiful poetry and sonnets that were about the couple, and it would make a lot of fun, like the mother-in-law, the thing, and people would laugh and cry. And it was like, I want to do that. I want to be a man who gets up on a chair in front of hundreds of other people and gets a room full of people to like, it's 2:00 in the morning and just laugh and laugh and cry. And I was like, I want to do that. So in camp, we had mock weddings, and I would always cast myself as the batchen. And I would put on the payas like you're wearing right now, and I would pretend with the shtrammel, and I would pretend to be the batchen. And I grew up in a family of chazdonim. So my Shabbos table was like, wenn ich will singen, lecho doiti, belsti singen, chitty bitty bom. And it was like, that's what there you go. Well, that's Lubavitch, different sect. But I so badly wanted to do that. That was my first experience. I didn't know real comedy. I never watched real comedy. I never understood it. When I started performing in our world, I only performed Heimish comedy. And I'm so grateful for it because I didn't have, and I will say it, I wasn't tempered by outside influences. I was able to develop my own personality and my own voice. But it hindered me when I entered mainstream comedy, because mainstream comedy is all about crafting based on, world and what people want and what artists are doing. So it was a challenge, and I sometimes struggle with imposter syndrome. I don't always feel like I have a seat at the table because I do feel like other comedians feel like I didn't earn my place, but they don't realize I earned my place. I put in over a decade in the Heimish world. I was selling out theaters, 3,000-4,000 women a night. Easy. I was being flown around the world. I was producing albums and DVDs, and I had the dream of a career in the frum community. I left when I was a superstar.
You were like Tony Wheels with 2 legs. This is an amazing thing. You remember her. Now,
I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it in that world. I wanted to see what else was out there.
But you are ready now. Leah Forster, you are ready now, and people can see you being ready at Theater.
Girl.
What? Theater for the New City?
Yeah.
In your show, that's Yentertainment.
That's Yentertainment. It's a musical comedy. It's amazing. And the main and the cool thing is, if you do come to my show, my book is coming out called Club MILF, MIILS, and that stands for Mothers Interested in Launching Financial Freedom. It's a fiction book. It's going to be everywhere worldwide, and it is the first ever audio video book. So it can be downloaded as an interactive book experience. If you're on social media, Book Talk is really hot right now. They release chapters at a time. And what I found is a lot of people are using their screens instead of turning on TV, and they want to read. So if you have someone read to you, it's like a pleasant experience. And this is super duper cool. But also the book is available hardcover everywhere. I'm going to have a huge launch party. I'm so pumped. I already have a sequel that's being published as well. I'm pumped for what's next for me. To be honest, guys, if you're listening to this is the first time in my life, my kid is 20 now, okay? I got married super duper young. I raised my child. My child went to college. I was working and hustling my whole life. This is the first time in my life that I'm thinking, what does Leah want? I wanna entertain. I want the world to hear the story and dance and laugh and sing and bring real theater back and real laughter back, and not produce social media content. Real echte geschmacke comedy where for an hour and change you sit in an audience and you just immerse yourself. Your phone's off, your life is off. Nothing fancy. It's just good. And you walk out and you're like, hey, I can do this. I got this. That's my intention. And that's Yentertainment. It's taking regular entertainment and adding a little Yenterschaft into it.
Leah Forster, you certainly do got it. It's unfortunate. We've got to run because it's time for me to light this candle here. But I wish you such success, such good things.
Shabbos!
Entertainment. And
you can find me on Instagram at Leah Forster, LeahForster. You can look up my Hello, it's Sicha Tuesday. Come to my show. Come. Change your life. Come in, learn something, be open-minded, and leave dancing and happy, and then buy my book.
Dancing.
Shabbos.
Leah Forster, thank you and shalom to you. Bye-bye now.
Rabbi Saul Solomon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop my share. On the Dave's Gone By show with Leah Forster, our new friend of the Daverhood, on this Saturday, November 16th, 2024. You're watching the 766th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of The Stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz. And let me kindly remind you that if you want to see our previous interviews, I mentioned that we've had so many comedians and comedy people, stand-up comedians on this show over the years. And those have included, I mentioned a few before, I guess I can mention a couple more now. So let me just in case you were interested, and why wouldn't you be, in hearing or seeing older interviews of the program, let's take a look at the comedians who have been on this show, including, there we go, there's Marty Allen. Well, some of these are gone. Some of these have passed. But Marty Allen, if you remember him from Hollywood Squares and Allen and Rossi, we have had, let's see. Gotta scroll through all these. Pat Cooper. Oh, sorry, what?
What are you looking for, honey?
I'm just telling people some of the comedians who've appeared on Dave's Gone By over the years. Pat Cooper, if you know him. John DeResta, who was my classmate in high school and is now having this resurgent career as a stand-up comedian. We've had Will Durst. We've had the late Marshall Efron. Well, he's more of a comedy actor. We've had Gallagher. There's a documentary coming out about Gallagher. Yeah, remember the watermelon?
Yeah, what's the thing?
Well, just that, he had an up and down kind of career, but a life in
He's
comedy.
still alive, though, the way you're saying.
Gallagher passed back in 2022. Gilbert Gottfried passed in 2022 as well. He's been on the program. Shecky Green.
You were in love with him.
Gilbert. And just so many, and living people too. The great Robert Klein. Bill Kirkenbauer has been on this program. Dave Koenig, very popular comedian. Vicki Lawrence. Yes, you know her from the Carol Burnett Show. Jackie the Joke Man Martling.
She had her own thing with Mama's Family, too.
Oh, yeah, that was almost more popular. Not quite, but that was her own thing from Carol Burnett. The late Mark Russell. I mean, yes, a lot of our comedians are dead. Peter Schickley. But that's as we were talking about before.
Did you ever send him the thing? Who's the one who were going to send the thing from Buffalo, the Cudmore building?
I don't know if I wished him a happy birthday, because Bob Cudmore. We have the photo, but he didn't respond to the birthday request, so I hope he's okay. Oh, not birthday. Birthday. No, I said happy birthday, as I do to everyone on Facebook. We say happy birthday from the Daverhood, and happy day from the Daverhood, where it is 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time, and we are continuing this program. Oh, I forgot to bring the Rabbi back in. We've got to do that.
Okay.
Because he's going to do StoryTime.
I'll go get him. Hold on. He runs away.
Yeah.
He's probably eating matzah.
He's always eating matzah. He's always eating matzah and dipping it in borscht.
You know what will make you feel better while you're waiting?
What? Oh, here we go. We're going to do some slothing.
First, put on your safety goggles so
Gotta
not
do
to
it.
get hurt. You got double goggles and your ear thing.
My double goggles and my ears. Although I'm going to have to take these off when the Rabbi comes in.
You know, he likes wearing them, but you know.
So I got these.
That doesn't seem.
How do swimmers find these helpful? I do not know.
No, they're not. Those are for lab. Those are lab goggles.
Oh, and there we go.
Yes. And now you can throw your sloths in.
Now, if you want to take me more seriously, ladies and gentlemen, the important thing to do is go to davelefkowitz.org.
Can you see?
Barely.
Okay, wait, come here.
davelefkowitz.org.
This goes on your back. Wait, take this. Okay, here.
What do you think? Because that is the place, not for the archives. Oh, that looks good. Not for the
That's your extra. That's double safety.
There we go.
In case you have any precaution or anything you want to do, you got more safety stuff. I'm going to trip and kill myself, so I'm going to stand over here, okay?
Cool. I'll be right there to help with Rabbi's garmenting.
Now you can throw the now you're safe to throw the
sloth. I'm going to throw a sloth.
In case one backfires into your face, you're covered.
There we go. So first of all, the ceremonial 11 a.m. throwing of the sloth.
Oh wait, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay.
Here we go. I'm going to do it left-handed. Okay, I'm going to do it right-handed. Okay. There we go.
Oh my God.
What the hell is wrong with these things? They've lost their goo. You're supposed to throw them on the wall. I'll try it this way.
Oh my God, David!
Oh no!
I'll get those.
They don't last very long. These are not very well. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. Here's one more slot.
I'll get the other two in a second.
Throwing this off. All right. Oh God.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's not get any more slots. Okay.
I'm gonna try and throw them. You don't see me, right?
No. Oh, see, not going well. Yeah. We're having a sloth malfunction, my friends. Go figure that sloths wouldn't want to do work. So, yeah. Okay, that one will do.
I'm the tech team.
That'll do.
I did my tech work. Did I do good at tech job, honey?
Bravissima. Bravissima. DaveLefkowitz.org is the place to read my plays.
Look, read.
Yeah. My short stories, my song lyrics, interviews.
You feel safer now in case. You should do that when you do your phlegm thing, so you don't. Oh, yes. God, what's the
it's down?
Himself.
Oh, no.
He just jumped down.
How's my phlegm doing? Let's take a look. Oh, see, this one's getting... I love when they get drier and more gooey. That's just great. Anywho, DaveLefkowitz.org is the place where you can read the things I've written.
Oh, the other one fell now, too.
Hundreds of news stories about the American theater.
Oh, yeah.
My God. Theater reviews. Get them up there. Oh, no, it's not going to work, babe. They're dead. They're not... Yeah, very sad. I don't know how you keep them. Maybe you keep them in a plastic thing, and yeah, no, it's not going to go well.
No,
it is not going well.
I did it without the safety glasses. I probably hurt myself somehow.
So.
What does this thing have sugar on it? This better be sugar.
That is sugar. Yes, it was from this morning. I had to transfer sugar into the sugar bowl. We've got Greeley. No, we have our Colorado Limerick of the Dam coming up. Friends of the Daverhood. Tons of fun. And coming up right now, the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sal Solomon is, well, you just saw him, of course. He was just interviewing Leah Forster. But he is not content with that because he did the interview yesterday. And he wants to appear among us all. He stopped eating his matzah. He's here to do StoryTime. StoryTime is a segment we started a few years back, which is kind of easy on us because we don't have to write anything new. We just have to read a story and share it with you. Story written by somebody else. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, the story of the day is Bagel in Love, my friends. Now, we could have gotten the rabbi to do this. Well, we could have gotten me to do this, but instead, of course, Rabbi Sal Solomon will be sharing is going to be sharing the book Bagel in Love.
And you gave our neighbor that beautiful bagel we could have used.
I know. I'll bet he doesn't even know where it is. I'll bet it's somewhere in their house now, And he'll want it because our neighbor's going to be having hernia surgery, honest to God. Yeah. And he's going to want something nice to squeeze when he's in terrible, terrible pain.
I think he's going to want some painkillers rather than a bagel.
I want some painkillers. But here's Rabbi Sal's music. Shalom, my friends, and shalom to all of you and my enemies as well. Not so much shalom to my enemies, but certainly to my friends. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sal. You saw me earlier. You saw me talking to the woman who was an Orthodox frummy girl. Now she is out. She's a lesbian. She's still Orthodox. So less frummy, more wummy. I don't even know what the hell that means. but I'm back to talk to you or share with you a book, a piece of writing with pages in it. This is what we do sometimes on the Dave's Gone By show. When there's something Jewish to share with you, Dave gets me to do the dirty work, if you will. So, ladies and gentlemen, notice the coloration to match the colors of this delightful children's story, Bagel in Love. See, there's a bagel. Oddly enough, he's got a whole, barely, they don't have that's not a bagel, that's a donut. This is more like a jelly roll or perhaps a croissant, not that bagelish. But let's take a look. Let's give them the benefit of a doubt. This is a book by Natasha Wing with illustrations by Helen Dardick. Dance contest tonight. It's too much light. It's here we go. Bring your, I'm going to need my glasses, my real glasses, my overglass. That's better. Okay. Bring your partner to the Cherry Jubilee. Ooh, there's prizes. Ooh, prizes. So let's take a look at this beautiful book, Bagel in Love. My grandparents used to have wallpaper like this. And I used to see this while I was eating, throw up on it, and then you couldn't find the vomit because the wallpaper looked like this. Let's take a look. All right. To all who dance to the beat of a different drummer, certainly Leah Forster there, and for my girls, Lola, Margot, and Anais. Really? This is a Jewish lady? Lola, Margot, Lola, Anais. Interesting. Text by Natasha Wing from 2018. Sterling Children's Books and the distinctive Children's Sterling Book logo, which I can't actually find anywhere. It's that distinctive. All right, here we go. Here is a bagel standing on the street corner in a Chaplin-esque sort of fashion, picking his little bagel nose, probably trying to find a hole in his face. What do we got here? Oh, he's happy. He's singing and dancing. He belongs on Broadway, except he's heterosexual in this book. Bagel loved to dance. It made him happier than a birthday cake. He never felt plain, get it, when he was spinning and swirling, tapping and twirling. Look, he's even got him shoes, but those look like sneakers rather than tap shoes, which is a problem. He's got schleikers. He's got the suspenders there. Very, very happy, joyful, albeit plain bagel. But he didn't have a partner. Yeah, I'm wondering why. He dresses like this in 2018. He didn't have a partner, so he couldn't enter the dance contest. Oh, whatever shall he do? Oh, God. Yeah. Bagel asked the best dancer he knew in Bakersville. Get it? There's some pun work here. Poppy told him his dance steps were half-baked. Did Kippadata write this? The guy who wrote Wet Dream, was this his idea? So she said, oh, you have a half-baked idea. Her name is Poppy. So he asked Pretzel. Here's Pretzel. And you thought my phlegm was ridiculous. He asked Pretzel, who was at the spa getting a salt rub. I'm actually enjoying this now. She told him his moves, oh God, his moves didn't cut the mustard. This is getting harder and harder with each page. Matzah flat out told him no. This is funny. This book is actually funny now. I'm liking this. And I don't like anything. I'm like Mikey. All right, here we go. Bagel did not give up. He knew there had to be someone out there who loved to dance with him. With a hop, skip, and a pirouette, Bagel set off to Sweet City. Oh, so he's leaving sort of the salty and spiciness that is Bagel Town, the savoriness, and he's going to Sweet City. It's like that cartoon with the princess whatever and the prince this and the whatever and the sweet shop thing. I don't even know what the hell that was. Okay. He walks up to a table at a busy cafe. I bet you're all fabulous dancers. Croissant rolled her eyes. And I do love the drawing on this. This is pretty great. This is like every Jewish princess who turns 14. There she is. All right. Croissant rolled her eyes, and she said, "Are you trying to butter us up?" "Actually," said Bagel, "I'm looking for a partner for the Cherry Jubilee Dance Contest." Bagel tap danced like, oh God, like the famous Fred Eclair. I'm not making this up. I am not making this up. These fancy feet, check 'em out. "Call me flaky," said Croissant, "but those moves are totally stale." He held out his hand to Donut. "How about you?" he said. Donut just staring at him, her eyes glazed over. "Make like a mixer and beat it," said Cake, and Bagel felt dumped, like yesterday's rolls, as opposed to yesterday's Cadillac. Oh, but look, he finds some other sort of snooty little pastries that he can annoy. He didn't give up. This is important. He did not give up. He gave down. With all his courage, Bagel hopped onto a pedestal. "Whoever can match me step for step, I'll take to the Cherry Jubilee." While Bagel tap danced, Croissant, Donut, and Cake pointed at him and laughed. No one stepped forward to dance with him. This is called the crisis point in the narrative. Bagel felt crummy. Yes, there's more. Soon the cafe emptied out. Everyone had gone to watch the contest. He climbed down from the pedestal. "Maybe next year," he whispered sadly. Bagel stood outside the empty cafe all alone. By the way, the cafe is called the Upper Crust. Of course it is. Of course it is. He heard music coming from the Cherry Jubilee. His feet started tapping again, and to his surprise, he heard a reply. Tap, tap, tippity tap, tip tap, tippity, tippity, tippity tap. This is the sound my prostate makes every morning. Tip tap, tippity tap, tap, tap. What will happen now? Oh, look! Feet don't fail them now. He tapped again. Pardon me, Gesundheit. Tap, I Gesundheit it myself. You can do that, but only in private. Tap, tippity, tippity, tap, tap, tap. Tap, tippity, tippity, tap, tap, tap. Came the response. "Who's tapping?" Yes. That's also the title of a 1987 black porn movie, Who's Tapping? Next. Stay in character, goddammit. All right. Out stepped the cutest cupcake Bagel had ever seen. Well, she is a sweetie. She is a hot little minx. Little frosty in her personality, but that was mine, the frosty thing. Her frosting was piled high. She smelled oh so sweet. Was that you I heard dancing?" asked Bagel. "Yes," Cupcake said, "but I'm not very good." "You sounded pretty good to me. I bet you're better than you think," said Bagel, which is what you say to a girl about everything when you want to shtup her. "Shall we give it a whirl?" Bagel spun her around and around. Look at that. It's borderline sexual assault there. Or sexually assault and pepper. Then he tossed her in the air and caught her in his arms. They ended in a dip. Gazing into each other, I'm amazing to say glazing into each other's eyes. "You're an incredible dancer," said Cupcake. Her eyes twinkled like sugar crystals. Bagel felt all toasty inside. "So are you." Cupcake blushed. Red velvet. Yeah, almost done. "Would you be my partner at the dance contest?" he asked. "Pretty please, with a cherry on top." And let me tell you something. There was another cherry on her. She lost that years earlier. They raced off to the Cherry Jubilee just in time to enter the contest. Look at this little Cupid thing with her sugar bow and standing on a marshmallow thing. How cute, and look at them going down the road together to the contest. I wonder if they win. Whoa! Look at them! Look at them cutting a rug, even though they're on a hard, solid floor, and getting 10s from all the judges. Woo! Bagel and Cupcake dance circles around the other contestants. Their fancy moves wowed the judges. And look how pissed off these people are. Oh, yeah, she was mean. She's still mean. Yeah. Oh, they're upset. Oh, they're having a rough day. Good on them. Bastards. But for Bagel and Cupcake, winning the grand trophy was just icing on the cake. And by the way, if you wonder why children's books cost whatever, $20 now, they actually put real sparkle shit on the things here. Look at that. So you can feel it. It's sparkly sparkle, not just gold. This is a good use of publication money right here. And that's the end. It was just icing on the cake because I get the feeling that he's gonna find her donut hole and they're gonna have some fun and make little munchkins later on. Let's see, is there anything else about this book? Natasha Wing, the author, her pen name is Jane Doe, Dough. Yeah. She loves good pastry and a good pun. She also loves a lot of bad puns. I think we've noticed. She's best known as the New York Times best-selling author of The Night Before Kindergarten, which sold more than 1.5 million copies. And then she, of course, did a bunch of sequels to that in the Night Before series. Her other books include Jalapeno Bagels. This is not her first bagel book. Jalapeno Bagels, now in its 23rd printing, and When Jackie Saved Grand Central, which has been praised as being as charming as it is informative. Natasha lives in Fort Collins, Colorado, oh my God, with her husband Dan and her cat Persia. Learn more at natashawing.com. And then the illustrator of the book is Helen Dardick, who has lived in Ukraine, Siberia. Oh,
I cooked bagels. I cleaned the kitchen and made some bagels for you, Rabbi.
Look, here it is. Look at that, getting some action. Yeah. Look, here it is. Bagel, and who doesn't love a bagel? Bagel in love. Wait,
Was he an everything bagel or what was he?
No, he's plain.
Is there a plain one? I might have a plain one in there.
No, these are two, these are two everythings.
Aww.
So these are still good. These are in the fridge. We can actually eat these and toast these, which I'm going to do. What? Oh, what? These are humanoid. They're not human. But is there anything else about it? Yeah. Oh, this illustrator eventually moved to Canada. She has a husband, 3 kids. She illustrates for a large number of clients, including American Girl, the Boston Globe, and most importantly, Klutz magazine. When she's not crafting her intricate digital illustrations, she makes plush toys, paints with oils, and rearranges furniture because she does home care for Helen Keller. Learn more about her at OneLuckyHelen.com. And we are lucky to be here in the Daverhood sharing wonderful literature like Bagel in Love. I'm afraid to open these up here because they're so full of everything stuff that it's going to get all over the desk and the environs here. But ooh, Bagel in Love. Well, I love sharing things with you, my wonderful, wonderful Hamish of friends in the Daverhood. I am Rabbi Saul Solomon. To find out more about me, please go to my URL, shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T. Shalomdammit.com. Now, here is a place where you can read my rabbinical reflections. They're mini sermons on all things of cultural things, Jewish things, Israel things. If you want to read my opinions, shalomdammit.com. If you don't want to read my opinions and you just want to see me be funny, go to shalomdammit.com, because there you can watch my stage show. that I did off Broadway many years back. Or you can watch my TV show, Shalom Dammit, Rabbi Sal Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour. We did 10 brilliant episodes. You can watch them at shalomdammit.com. Well, alas, it is time for me to get back to my usual Saturday afternoon doing nothing. But I'm going to bring in Dave Lefkowitz to continue the rest of the Dave's Gone By program on this Shabbos morning. Make it a good one. Go get a bagel. You can get a plane. Okay, if you have intestinal issues, get a plane. But go crazy. Get a cinnamon. Get a raisin, a poppy raisin bagel, a pretzel bagel. Go nuts and put interesting things upon it. And then report back to me, shalomdammit@aol.com. I'll see you soon. David will see you almost immediately here on the Dave's Gone By program. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching this program. It is about 20 after 11, Eastern, almost 25 after 11, Eastern Time here in the Daverhood with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful and adorable and helpful wife, and all of you watching at home. Whether you're watching live on Facebook, on our Dave's Gone By Facebook page, whether you're watching the archives, either on the Facebook page or davesgoneby.com, you might watch our archives finally again on archive.org. They finally fixed the issues that they were having because they were hacked a month and a half ago, and little by little they've been bringing everything back. It's great to have archive.org back, and we've got a channel on it. Plus, if you just care about the audio, you can listen to older programs and interviews at castbox.fm. We have a channel there too, castbox.fm. Well, what do we have left on this show on this Saturday morning? Well, not that much. We really just have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, as well as our Friends of the Daverhood. Let's get to that, as a matter of fact. Friends of the Daverhood are people who have been on this program in the past. We're very, very proud that, I listed a bunch of comedians who've been on the show in the past. We've also had tons of musical artists, everyone from George Clinton of Parliament Funkadelic to Judy Collins, right? I mean, seriously. To, again, we've listed some dead people, some late folk singers like Oscar Brand and Melanie, to the very much alive Sophie B. Hawkins and Jane Siberry. So tons of interviews with great and major people. Maybe not the people that the kids are listening to on the top 40 Spotify, whatever. Not the young little whippersnapper things, but older folks, people who actually remember things.
It's like that's your audience. You have a really strong following of people who really enjoy your
And I'm very grateful for that. So you guys will probably remember some of these folks, and you may remember when they appeared on Dave's Gone By. Remember that they're still alive in the archives, every single one of them. And actually, the folks I'm listing are all going to be alive. So here we go, our Friends of the Daverhood. So I want to wish congratulations to the actor and director Thomas G. Waits. He's in a new movie called Godless, and it's going to be playing in select theaters over the next week or 2 or 3 or 5. So Thomas G. Waits, spelled not like Tom Waits, but Waits. Thomas G. Waits, still going strong. He still does a lot of theater stuff, but now he's got a part in a movie called Godless. And guess who's got a new album, hon? Our New York friend, our friend who used to visit us every New Year's Eve.
Oh, get Glenn Ross?
Brian Gary Glenn Ross. Yes. He has a new album. It's called Your Side of the Bed, and you can get that on eBay and other places.
Does that mean that he wants to take over people's side of the bed? That's not nice. Why would he take over people's side of the bed?
Because he doesn't want to sleep on the wet spot.
Oh.
That could definitely be it. And anyway, cool dude, and he is the grandson of Eddie Cantor, kind of a canceled singer comedy actor of the 1930s and 40s and 50s, hugely popular at the time. Now, not so much because times have passed, and also he used to do blackface some of the time, so it's not something we want to talk about. But no, he was an enormous and very talented fella. So this is his grandson, Brian Gary, who is a musician. He wrote the Broadway musical Late Night Comic.
He wrote Glenn Ross, right?
Brian Gary Glenn Ross. We got to call him that from now on. Brian Gary Glenn Ross. His new album, Your Side of the Bed. Want to shout out to Bill Kirchenbauer. Speaking of comedians, he is appearing in the movie we just talked about, Gallagher, which is playing at the New York Documentary Festival over this next week or two. So yeah, there's now a documentary about the late Gallagher, who was on this program. Bill Kirchenbauer was on this program too, and he's interviewed regarding his memories of the comedian Gallagher. Jill Sobule, we just mentioned her too. They keep bringing back her musical, her off-Broadway musical called Fuck 7th Grade. She is in it. She sings and plays her guitar. It's at the Wild Project on East 3rd Street. Fuck 7th Grade from Jill Sobule, playing now through tomorrow. So this is your last weekend to catch it over in Lower Manhattan. Marilyn May is directing a cabaret show by John Phillips called Oceans of Love and Life. That is at Don't Tell Mama now. Well, I'm sorry, starting tomorrow through November 21st. And then K.T. Sullivan, this Thursday, you can catch her at Pangea, November 21st, K.T. Sullivan. Playing...
Honey, there's also a Dave Lefkowitz who lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's called Dolphin Dave. Is that you?
Dolphin... Well, I certainly have a blowhole. Yeah.
There's Dave M. Lefkowitz, David Lefkowitz, Dave Bin Laden Lefkowitz.
Yeah, it's a very common... It's a really popular name. And even, it wasn't in the 80s and 90s, it still is. People are being named David Lefkowitz, but there's only one. There's only one Dave. And thank goodness for that. Anyway, Danny Burston is on Broadway. They are opening yet another revival of the great, one of the greatest of all musicals ever, Gypsy, the Stephen Sondheim, Arthur Lawrence classic tuner. This time it's got Audra McDonald in it, but it also has Danny Burston playing Herbie. So, yes.
The car?
Herbie. Wouldn't that be great if Gypsy was about Mama Rose and the Love Bug? Come on, children, we're going in the car. We're playing the vaudeville circuit.
I think that would be fun.
I have a new car, a blue car. Yeah. It goes this, it makes noise.
Yeah, and it could be like Knight Rider. It could engage with her, you know?
Wow. Some people, they take the bus. We don't, oh no, not us. We riding Herbie the Love Bug. Maybe they won't do that musical, but they are doing Gypsy again, and it's worth it just to see Danny Burstein as Herbie. It's at the Majestic Theater on Broadway. It starts on Friday, and then it's in an open run. I want to let you know that our great friend John Pielmeyer has a play. It's a solo play of his called Courage. He's appearing in it, and you can catch that at Centenary Stage in Hackettstown, New Jersey. It's not this weekend, but it's next coming weekend. So it starts, I believe, on Thursday and runs through the 24th. So catch John Pielmeyer in his play Courage in New Jersey. Welcome to the Big Dipper. This is a play that will feature Robert Cuccioli. It might be a musical, actually, because it's at the York Theater. That is happening from Thursday through November 29th. And then from Friday, the 22nd, through the end of December, oh, you would love this.
What?
An adaptation of Death on the Nile.
Oh, that's mine. Let's go see it.
Adapted by our friend of the Daverhood, Ken Ludwig.
Where is it?
We can go see it. It's at Arena Stage in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah.
So we can take a trip and go down to Washington. We're not that far. And it's playing through the end of December. So once school's over, we can do it. We can maybe catch a matinee. That'd be fun. And then, this is so cool. Speaking of family and having relatives on the show, my cousin, Scott Arangow, is designing the set for an off-Broadway show called The Z Team, being done at Theater Row, playing now through November 23rd. Ruben Santiago Hudson is directing The Other Americans, speaking of Arena Stage. This is at Washington, D.C. also, and John Leguizamo, who I'd love to get on the show, he hasn't been on the program, but he stars in this play that is being directed by Ruben Santiago Hudson. Jose Rivera, the playwright, he has a play called Your Name Means Dream, and it's at New Jersey Repertory in Long Branch, New Jersey, and we keep mentioning it features Sarah Koviak, who was 1 degree removed from being a guest on Dave's Gone By, because she appeared in my play that we showed on Dave's Gone By. She was in Restoration Playhouse back in 2021. Marilyn May, we mentioned her as directing a show, but you can see her doing Marilyn May by request at 54 Below. She's doing a couple of dates between now and November 25th. Austin Pendleton! Austin Pendleton alert. Hon, we need some Austin Pendleton noise, please. There we go. Bring it in. The ubiquitous Austin Pendleton. Basically, we do an Austin Pendleton alert every time Austin Pendleton is doing something, which is almost every week. He is co-directing his play, a revival of his play, Orson's Shadow, that is happening at Theater for the New City, now through December 1st. Julie Halston is on Broadway in a revival of one of the greatest plays ever written, Thornton Wilder's Our Town, that is at the Barrymore Theater. Aladdin is at the New Amsterdam Theater and features music by our friend Alan Menken. He also, of course, did the music for Little Shop of Horrors that is revived off-Broadway, long-running off-Broadway revival at the West Side Theater. We mentioned Katie Sullivan being at Pangea this Thursday, but you can catch her on Tuesday nights at the Algonquin. And then Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks, they do 2 shows at Birdland on Monday evenings. And Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets at birdlandjazz.com. Michael Garin holds court at the piano at the Roxy Hotel in Tribeca. And if you go to Michael Garin's Facebook page, you can actually see him. He streams live while he's playing cocktail piano from the Roxy Hotel in Manhattan. Isn't that cool? And then Seth Bisson-Hirsch has his talent showcase as a kind of like an open mic night on Don't Tell Mama on Tuesday evenings. StageBuddy.com is a New York nightlife run by my great friend Evan Seplow. Dr. Demento doing new and old Dr. Demento shows at drdemento.com. And then, of course, our great friends David Sheward, who writes theater reviews for theaterlife.com, culturaldaily.com, and my own website, totaltheater.com. Vicky Quaddy doing Late Night Catechism and Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun at various places in Chicagoland. And pretty soon she'll be doing Christmas Bingo because we're getting to that time. So check it out, Vicky Quaddy, Quade. And last but certainly not least, Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake co-hosting Two on the Aisle on YouTube and also Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Check them all out in the Daverhood. Very, very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, here in the Daverhood on Dave's Gone By, it's 11:35 in the morning. I'm here with our 967th episode. I've suddenly gotten dyslexia. 967th episode of the program that we've been calling Forced Entry in honor of our brand new friend of the Daverhood, Leah Forster. Remember that she has a book coming out soon that you're going to want. It's called Club MILF, MIILFF. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's coming out in January from Spines Books. Before that, she is doing her off show, That's Yentertainment, which is going to be at Theater for the New City 155 First Avenue, just off 9th Street. Theaterforthenewcity.net is a place that you can buy tickets, and please check the Instagram page for Leah Forster, LeahForster, Leah Forster, like EM. And remember that the show is playing November 27th through December 15th, so you have another week before it starts to buy tickets. Well, we've done a lot on the show, not as much as usual. I feel like we're... I haven't done the Limerick. Is there anything we did this week that we haven't, that we wanted to talk about, that we wanted to bring up?
My phone.
Yeah. I don't think we took many pictures this week. We went shopping, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, you're pointing at the 15th, which was I Love Writing Day.
Oh, yesterday was writing day? Great. I barely had time to write yesterday. I was too busy grading. Lucky me.
But, oh, look.
Yeah.
Oh, the food truck. So the two things you got to talk about is your Starbucks and then the food truck. You'll see the fuzzy food truck.
Okay, so this is kind of cool at Starbucks now because, God forbid you should just walk up to a place, order food, and then remember who you are, and in 5 minutes hand you your food. No, now there's like, oh, I know you're waiting for your order. Here's your name on a digital order board. So you always feel like you're waiting for a fucking Long Island Railroad train, no matter where you go.
That's funny.
But they are making this really tasty thing called hazelnut praline.
No, isn't it chestnut?
I'm sorry, you're right. I prefer chestnut latte. A chestnut praline latte.
You love it.
Yeah. It's really good. It's very tasty.
Chestnuts on front.
So I treat myself to that.
And then you're going to see the food truck. We went shopping. We got some.
Oh, this was last week.
We
We went to the bazaar. Well,
you saw the food truck, right? You give it to me.
Yeah.
Give it to me. What are you doing with my?
I'm trying to scroll, but it won't let me scroll.
Of course, because you're breaking stuff. Here's the food truck. It's right here. You can't see it. You're David outside the food truck. I'm surprised you didn't put that. Remember the fuzzy burger? It was so good.
Oh, didn't we talk? This was this week? Was it last? So
it was after. We went on Saturday. It was after your show, so we couldn't have talked about it.
So we went to our local. It's actually the junior. It wasn't the church. It was the middle school, the local middle school.
Yeah.
And it's just a crafts fair. They rent the tables. They have the stuff. They've got knitted scarves and sweaters and crochet and painted things and not so much leather stuff. It was all.
It was like holiday stuff. They had a room of the kids' tables, which we liked in the library, where they had kids who were selling crafts. I thought that was awesome.
Jewelry and things.
And the woman gave us all those free chocolates.
OMFG.
They're at the
Rock and Roll chocolate.
Yeah, they're at Bethany's Bakery in Cockeysville.
She was so nice. She gave us she gave us a cup each, a chocolate covered peanut butter cup.
Oh God.
And it was so good, and she was talking, and I literally went like.
And I said, "It's so delicious."
Eating. Yes. And she saw that, and she saw my orgasm while eating this chocolate thing that she gave us another one.
Yes.
I should go do that at Mission Barbecue.
I said it was delicious too. She might have heard that.
I said, "Your ribs are so incredibly amazing that I'm literally coming in my pants while eating them. Can you give me another one for free?" And they might not.
They're veterans, honey. You don't want to mess with them.
Don't want to mess with them. But there was a food truck that had burgers in it. It's kind of hard to see.
It was fuzzies.
Fuzzy, yeah. If you were going to make hamburgers, wouldn't you call them fuzzies? Wouldn't that be appetizing?
It was local beef. It looked really good. He said it was delicious.
It was very tasty, a little salty, but very, very tasty. Good, solid. Not even it was like a flatter, but it was a big burger, tasty.
And had a lot of good dressings. We had good dressings.
But we got a burger and we got a little packet of fries with it that were very, very good. Yeah. But it was like $23 when you got through with. It was a burger. It wasn't even a bacon burger. It was just a hamburger with fries, and it was like $20 with tax, with everything else. And I think they charged us like $1 for topping.
Focus.
All right, and then this is
focus.
That's there's always wherever I don't know why, but when we're on the road, we always either see an Utz truck.
I wonder if maybe they. Like we watch all these alien abductions. Maybe you were kidnapped and they implanted an Utz meter on you.
No, they're coming after me.
Oh no!
He's paranoid since the elections. They're sending all the brown ones away.
No potato. Utz uses only fake potato chips.
But he also sees the Lay's truck. We always see the Lay's truck or the Utz truck.
It's a mixed message, and there's nothing else.
That's it. But we saw Utz and we saw Lay's.
Yeah, we had a good time.
and we saw, and we went to the food truck and got myself a ridiculously expensive burger, which was really tasty. And the sad part is, it wasn't ridiculously expensive. That's just what burgers cost nowadays when you go anywhere. So.
You're trying to focus on your new friend.
I mean, oh. This is at the Buffalo Museum.
We have the eye doctor, honey, so remember.
Oh, that's right. We're getting our eyeballs checked on Monday.
Yeah.
I know mine have gotten worse. There's no question that mine have deteriorated. I used to be able to do this show with this in like 12-point font,
okay.
no glasses. Now it's like, I'm just worried that this time he'll say, nope, the $3 readers you're getting from Walgreens ain't going to do it. You need $400 readers with frames from, Optic Lens LLC, because it'll have, it'll be graduate. So you can look up top for far away and look down here for close. You don't have to, we'll see.
You're fine.
We'll see. Anywho, anything else? Any other?
No, and there's nothing. I'm looking at email. There's nothing.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. We go through a week, and all we do is teach, and we don't remember what the hell we did.
We'll take pictures.
Yeah, but that's it. We shop, and there's nothing to talk about from shopping. Thank goodness. I mean, granted, we're in the supermarket. Yeah, it's held up. We have a story. No, but yeah, it just a week goes by in Dave's Gone By, as 966 previous ones have. But we make the episodes special by including things such as our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Now, this is because my wife and I lived in Colorado for 13 years when we were living and working there and stuff, and I got it into my head to take as many place names in Colorado as I could and write tasteless, kooky, sick poems about them. Limericks, 5-line, quick limericks. This is when I write my big boy X-rated limericks. There we go. This is also from our Buffalo trip. Literally one block away from where a guy was shot the morning we arrived in town. Oh, yes, it's time. This is time for, oh God, yeah. This one, we have a limerick. Seriously dirty today, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously filthy, dirty limerick today. Our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, because, we've done more than 300 of these, and thank goodness I'm still somehow able to find new places to write horrible poems about. And this week, we go to Basin, Colorado. Basin. Basin, Colorado, for our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
You're the poetry man. A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain, Colorado, Colorado, Colorado.
Now I wish I had more to tell you about Basin, Colorado.
Is it a real place?
It's supposedly a real place. I can't find anything about it except a wiki thing that says it's not, because a lot of these wiki places are simply the name of a post office. And I've stopped doing that. I don't think that's fair to include those among the places of Colorado Limerick of the Damned. That's not, but it's a no longer extant community, but it was a ghost town. I include it. If it's just an unincorporated neighborhood, I will include it because I'm that desperate. But Basin, Colorado, it's a thing. It's an unincorporated community in San Miguel County. It's in the far southwest of the state of Colorado, and all you see is that sometimes they call it San Miguel Basin, but I guess it's nicknamed Basin, or Wikipedia nicknames it Basin. There's nothing about Basin, Colorado. Now I'm putting it on the map. Now, thanks to me, thanks to this program, Basin, Colorado will exist in a bigger, stronger, more beautiful, albeit really, really dirty way. So get the kids out of the room. This is our Colorado Limerick, of the Damned. Ooh, Gesundheit, my goodness. A dirty young vixen from Basin said this to the boy she was chasing. when you lick my puss, don't act like a wuss. Gesundheit. Get in there and push your whole face in. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please send your comments and complaints to davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. I try and read everything that you send in. I reply to as much as I can. You can also message me at Dave's Gone By, our Facebook page, whether it's commenting under a show or messaging me if we're friends on Facebook. Either way, definitely get in touch. Say how much you like the show. Say how much you hate the show. Recommend things. Say, hey, how about bringing back and reposting that interview you did with so-and-so? Whatever it is, love to hear from you. But if you're going to email me, davesgoneby@aol.com is the way to do it. Plus, remember, davelefkowitz.org is the place where you can read my writings, my song lyrics, my poems. Don't have that many poems, except for all of these limericks. You can read all 300 of them at davelefkowitz.org. Plus, stories I used to write for Long Island Pulse magazine, Long Island Woman magazine, Playbill magazine, all of these things on davelefkowitz.org. And of course, remember the main website for the show, for the programs and the archives, davesgoneby.com. Remember that the Rabbi's Twitter feed is at Rabbi Sol Solomon, and my Twitter feed is Radio Dave 2. Radio Dave, the number 2. Also remember to see Leah Forster's show, that's Yentertainment, at Theater for the New City, starting next week, and then running through the middle of December. So here we are. It is the middle of November, smack in the middle of it. We're about to get finally a real cold front at some point in the middle of the week. I don't think we're due for any snow or anything like that. But hey, it's late fall almost. We're almost overdue for stuff. It's getting dark in the evenings, which sucks. But hey, you're here, I'm here. The world keeps turning despite the churnings of the crazy upcoming administration. Gonna be interesting. But what else? Any other things to talk about before I wrap things up like a mummy? No, I think we're good. So let me just wish you a good week and remind you to tune in next Saturday from 9 until noon-ish. We're actually ending early today. Noonish or thereabouts for the 968th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. Look forward to seeing you. And wow, I am blanking. I am completely and utterly blanking, which I guess happens when you get to be my age. Anyway, let's play the outro music for the show and Gone By.
Days gone by, they're gone. Days gone by, they're gone. Days gone by, they're gone.
All right, my wife is out of the room. Let's just do one more check of my phlegm. Let's see. Oh, it's really, look at that. Look at that! It's smiling. It's like a tooth in a smile. On that note, we'll see you next time.